recent world records and personal bests, and the runners who made it happen. I'm your host, Nuclear_Reaction, and I'm super excited to start. This is the premiere of Victory Lap, so awesome to have Jay with us tonight and Silo to show off Jay's recent world record of Super Mario Galaxy Mario Any Percent. Before we get started, though, just want to remind everyone that Summer Games Done Quick 2022 game submissions are now open until March 30th. You can find more information at gamesdonequick.com. All right, I want to let Jay and Silo go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hello, I'm Jay. I'm going to be commentating over the run today. This is a run that I got a few weeks ago, and I'm going to be explaining and kind of talking about the run and some of the ways it can be improved for the future and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I'm Salo. I'm also a runner and a good friend of Jay, so I'll be going alongside him today.
All right, we'll get started with the run here so that we can really get into it. So I'll go ahead and give a countdown for our tech here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Pepper. I think I would do pretty well against it.
All right, Jay.
All right, let's do it.
What a nice run we can look at today. So yeah, last time we show off Super Mario Galaxy at GDQ. We were playing Luigi. And Jay, how about you explain what the difference is, especially right at the beginning of the run?
Yeah, there's a little bit of downtime here. We've got a couple of cutscenes coming up, so I'm gonna briefly explain. Like in Galaxy, we've got two different characters you can play as, Luigi and Mario. Luigi can jump a lot higher, long jumps further, spins higher, stuff like that. So it generally makes like more tricks possible and makes things a lot easier. But Mario's also got some slight advantages, like when you're Boo Mario, you move slightly faster. You don't lose as much air underwater by spinning, and there's nothing else I'm missing, I don't think, right?
Yeah, but mainly we see some different kind of gameplay at the beginning. You might remember if you watched the HDQ run from last time, we straight up started off in Gateway Galaxy, but in this case we gotta do some long jumps, and we have some cutscenes here, how Bowser's gonna steal Peach's castle, and so yeah, we have some time to watch some cutscenes here. Gonna be amazing.
Yeah, so one of the cool things about this show is that we are able to draw on the VOD. Mm-hmm. So I can draw some fancy arrows, maybe a smiley face. And yeah, we're basically gonna be using this to like point stuff out. Like if we're explaining it, we can like point stuff out and stuff like that. So I'm gonna be drawing in blue mostly. I think Silo's doing orange.
Yes, I'm gonna be using orange, yes.
Hot new tech we got for this show, which I'm super excited about.
What did you just show there? I didn't see it.
I don't know. Yeah, this VOD was ripped straight from my stream, and we usually get pretty bored during these intro cutscenes, especially after a lot of resets. So we're always talking about random stuff. It's pretty funny.
I think, yeah, if I remember correctly, Jay's also gonna research for like hot chili peppers in this cutscene.
I think I was searching up how to buy ghost peppers. Yeah, usually we do Connect 4. The chat loves a bit of Connect 4 during the Mario intro.
Do these resets come pretty early on that you're seeing this quite a bit?
Yeah, so there's a trick. Well, there's a few tricks in early game that are very reset heavy. There's one specifically in Gateway called Gateway Skip, which is frame perfect and is very precise. So it's a bit of a pain going through the whole 5-minute cutscene, getting to there, and then just immediately resetting. So I haven't really been doing that much. Well, at this point in time, I wasn't. But it's something that's been added pretty recently.
Yeah, Jay.
Pretty big reset hell in the beginning.
Jay has been doing Mario resets for weeks, has been grinding these Mario categories for a while, and obviously it can be very frustrating with these cutscenes at the beginning. That is why usually most runners opt to play Luigi, but it's nice to show off Mario as well, because there are some, I mean, a lot of differences actually, strat-wise. So it's nice to have that here as well.
Yeah, it's a cool, like, difference showing off the Luigi and the Mario run, because, like, yeah, you got the 5-minute time loss for the beginning cutscene, but it's pretty similar. But there's also, like, different ways of doing things. Like there's if there's a trick you can do as Luigi, there's probably a way you can do it as Mario. It's slightly harder.
Yeah, sometimes a lot harder. Again, we've talked about the jump height of Luigi, and that actually makes a big difference with many strats actually, and makes it much easier to run Luigi other than Mario. Mario is just much more, yeah, it's much more painful to run. It's a lot more difficult.
Pop pepper, pop this.
Yeah.
just doing some research during the cutscene. Just browsing Amazon.
Gotta be careful to not dox yourself.
Yeah, this happened too many times.
No, I mean, not really.
I didn't actually end up buying any. I really should. I feel like it'd be funny to do on stream.
Yeah, me and Jay were actually pretty curious how this VOD is gonna get edited. And wait, so is the GDQ chat able to hear the audio of this run?
Tame night for runs, I guess.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, there's some pretty wacky conversations that go on in the stream sometimes. It's pretty funny. But yeah, now that the cutscene's over, we can finally get into Gateway. So the first thing that becomes a lot harder as Mario is catching the bunnies, because Mario like walks a lot slower than Luigi, so it's usually a bit more of a pain to catch the bunnies. Can be a bit more, but you don't really want to reset after that cutscene, so you try and make the best of what you have. But yeah, we'll see how the bunnies go. I'm pretty sure they went well in this. I'm pretty sure the gateway was pretty good.
I mean, yeah, if it wasn't, you would have reset, probably. And watched that 5 minutes of cutscene once more.
Yeah, let's do some drawing. I can't find my cursor. It's gone. Where's the cursor?
Yeah, I tried Light Blue as well, and like I did a bit of practice, not gonna lie. And Light Blue is really hard to find.
First bunny's in the crater. Pretty nice catch, pretty nice catch. Yeah, so we shoot them with stabbits to sort of like stun them and slow them down. Otherwise, as Mario, it's really hard to catch up to them. Especially on the Wii U version, because on the Switch version, they move slightly slower. So it's a bit harder to catch them on the Wii U.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, not only slightly, actually, it's just gonna be by a pretty big amount. And usually the bunnies just slow down after like chasing them for a while. But yeah. Using the but that actually takes like 10 seconds or so, so shooting with the starbits is pretty important. And if you miss them, you lose a pretty big amount of time.
I would have actually got it today. Yeah, I guess the one thing you'll notice for people that haven't really seen many Galaxy speedruns is you'll notice that I'm using the 2-player mode. So I've actually got I can show it on cam actually. So I use 2 controllers that are strapped together with Velcro, and it allows me to use 2-player mode, which has a bunch of different like abilities and stuff. You can do what's called a 2P jump, which is a 6-frame window jump, which gives you an extra boost of height in midair. You can also do it grounded. So you're gonna see that a lot in the run as well, and it allows me to like stun enemies and grab extra stabbits, and it makes the run generally a lot more interesting and faster. So you're gonna be seeing a lot of 2P, which will be the funny yellow cursor.
I never thought about how you would like actually do. I knew 2P was a thing, but I didn't think about you Velcro them together.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways people do it. Like I have the controllers side by side, but there's some people that do it back to back. There's some people do it like side to side but reversed. Everyone's got their own fancy setup of doing 2P.
Yeah, I actually do have the back to back setup as well right now, so this is what that would look like.
I love Gateway.
It's pretty interesting.
But yeah, this is the first major time save that could be added to the run. It's called Gateway Skips. Instead of going straight to the cage, I would do a triple jump into a mega triple, which would give me a boost of extra height to skip the Goomba. Like grabbing key, opening the cage, you can just go straight to the other planet. But it's really precise, and resetting for it is a giant pain, because this is 8 minutes into the run, and most of the beginning is just cutscenes. So it's not something I wanted to be adding just yet.
Yeah, but it is actually a recent addition to your runs, so that's a lot of fun.
I've had a 29 3x without
it. So. This run has been getting to the point where these kind of strats are just getting necessary. And
it's actually getting crazy optimized.
Yeah, Galaxy has actually made a lot of progress in the last recent months or so. It's been
So
crazy.
that's a cutscene skip. You saw there's a 4-frame window that you can do a jump there, but you can actually buffer a backflip and get a homing ground pound off the Luma, and then we just go around.
It's free. No,
And basically that's it for Gateway. That's like the introductory level. There's not really too much that goes on in Gateway apart from a lot of resets. People that watch know. we spend a lot of time in Gateway. Yeah,
So
once
did
we
you
get
say
out-
you're doing gateway skip or gateway skip now, Jay?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's something that's just been added to runs. It saves about 15 to 20 seconds, which is a significant amount for the beginning, but makes resets a lot more common.
Yeah. It's more time to look up chili peppers.
Bro, I don't want to do that cringe shit. Listen,
Exactly.
I enjoy
Yeah, we usually have like
being in
a
the cutscene.
game or two of Connect 4 in the cutscenes as well. That usually beats me. I'm not very good. But
I don't know about that. You had like a long winning streak though.
Listen, if it's ever needed,
But yeah, let's not talk about your Connect 4 games. I guess that's not what we're here for.
It's free.
But yeah, I think this time
Yeah.
around we will able to go into detail into much more things than on last time we were on GDQ.
oh yeah, definitely. We're gonna go like full nerd mode, like even like the really small optimal time saves that you probably won't notice just from watching. We're gonna try and explain like everything, because I feel like that'll be a lot more interesting.
Yeah, especially because
I'm sure,
What?
bro. Yeah, the double brew, boolean, and gateway.
There's a lot of stuff to go over that's probably like you wouldn't notice just by watching.
Your bag.
yeah, last time we had four
Like these resets are
four
so
sources of
good.
gameplay last time, so it was really hard to follow
My
everything.
runs are so attractive.
Yeah, that's what I like about this format. You're watching back on a video that you've already experienced this, so you're going to be able to just really focus and explain everything going on here.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just sticking full consistency with Mario.
Right, now finishing up, we did finish up
I'm doing any percent is
the
Yeah,
basically
we're gonna go
tutorial
to the left
part.
here to
No.
Terrace. This is where the first few stars are gonna be.
I'm not really like running any percent properly.
Yeah, Jay's
Yeah, what
already
are you saying,
gonna. Yeah, Jay already put this cursor in like the top part of the screen here before the text box even ended, so you can press A immediately and pull on the pull star there. Same goes for like text box in general. Jay will also always pre-place his cursors in the right position of the screen, so immediately when the dialogue ends, he can press A and continue as soon as possible.
Get in there. Every day is just
Yeah,
practice.
first level of the run, I guess if you don't count Gateway. That's a pretty long level. They get a lot shorter now past Gateway. This one's about 3 minutes with all the cutscenes taken out. So yeah, usually the game wants us to go left here across this bridge, but we're actually not going to do that. We're going to go straight down
Yeah, that's what I'm
and
not
climb
mad
up the
about
tower.
Master Chief, is, like, both those
So this will
attempts,
be
like,
first part. We're
they
seeing
were
some
pretty
2P
good.
tech,
Then
so
they
doing
got
2P
good
jumps to
RNG.
climb up the
I know
tower.
the next time I get a good
And we're going to be
attempt,
holding the
it's gonna
boulders
be
with
RNG,
2P
and
to
I'm
stop
gonna
them
cry.
from getting in the way, and they're also going to be dropping a bunch of stabbits. And stabbits are really important for this run because we need to feed feed 3 hungry lumas, which takes us to our 1,400 total stabbits. So we're going to be grabbing a bunch throughout this run.
Yeah, every run is just practice, Copian.
Be a nice clean peanut planet there with all the boulders out the way, nothing to stop us just from grabbing the chips.
Tips, I saved 12 with it, and it was like...
Yeah, and here in this section as well, more 2B jumps to climb up on top of the cannon, because the game wants us to kill that piranha plant there, but we're just going to skip that entirely by abusing the large gravity of the other planet. And that's pretty much it for the level now. We're just going to the boss
Let's
fight.
go. Good start to the day with some Galaxy.
Yep, and here we just want to take some tight turns around the piranha. Wait, what is this? No, this that sunshine, right?
That's so far left.
No, I'm not sure what this one. I think this one's just Dino Piranha. I don't know if
Oh
this
yeah,
actually
Dino
has a name.
Piranha. Just take some tight lines and hug the tail afterwards, so we can get an early hit on
This is a really good big one.
the end of the tail as soon as possible, and a nice early hit on the last phase as well.
So you see me shoot a couple stabbits there just to stun him a little bit.
Coping with any percent.
It's so I don't have to run as far to hit the tail.
It's going great. Oh no, it's not 29.
So yeah, you'll notice that I have like a specific Stabit route for collecting Stabit. So I need in total 1,400, like I said, but there's a text box at the end of each level. There's one that shows the amount of coins, and there's one that shows you the amount of Stabits. But what you can do is if you grab 0, it doesn't show up the text box and saves you about a second for each level that you skip them. So you see in this level here, I grabbed over 100 Stabits, and I didn't get any coins, so I didn't get no coin text box. Saves about a second for each text box you skip. And it actually adds up throughout the run, because we grab 61 stars total for any percent. So that's a minute there, just from text boxes, if you can skip all the Stabits, which obviously you can't, but you know, theoretically.
And obviously also, the game asks us to save the game every time we get a star. And saving actually takes quite a bit of time. I think it's like 3 to 4 seconds. So every time we press no,
like if you like look at
it saves 3 seconds. So that's like a lot of time throughout the whole run.
It works every time.
Yeah, in this level, same thing as last time. We're gonna go straight down at the beginning, and using 2P to kind of like rub the bushes to get them to drop extra Stabits. So I want to have at least 30 going down this under section.
Also, we're gonna
be
try
shooting the Slurpees.
We're gonna try to align Mario on this plank right here, this one.
Oh, I'm talking to the Luma. You don't want to do that.
And then yeah, we do a backflip into a 2P to hit the launch star early.
So yeah, you can see that with 2P, I'm like kind of hitting the plants to get them to give Stabits. I need 100 for this Luma coming up, so grabbing like 100 from all these bushes is actually kind of tricky. Because the curses in this game, because we're playing on Wii U, they can be pretty janky. And they don't like to cooperate a lot of the time.
I'm begging.
So actually getting 100 is kind of tight. Like you see, I barely got 100 there, 101.
Can we just solve Gateway?
Yeah, this is one of the stages where the 2-player cursor actually does save a lot of time.
Oh, it saves a ton. Yeah, you're gonna see me do a little camera manip now. So you see the planet on the right side, the one shaped like it's just kind of shaped like a pill. It's over on the right. So I'm gonna be going first person and looking away, so it stops all the cycles. Because the way this game works is if something's not on screen, it doesn't exist. So we want to try and manipulate things to be on screen if we want it to move, or manipulate to be off screen if we want it to stop. So yeah, hopefully pretty sure I make this cycle.
Yeah, it's again a bit more tough to get this cycle with Mario, especially because your speed is a lot more limited with Luigi. Your backward speed.
It's actually kind of tight.
Yeah, we're getting it right here, and barely makes it. If you're not careful there, you can get easily crushed by that cycle,
Go like a week without
by that
missing
platform.
it, go a week without getting it. It's just like depends.
And an easy long jump right to the star to finish off good activity.
Yeah, the game wants you to grab the star chips there, but they didn't check if you could just long jump, and you can just long jump straight there. It saves like, it's actually quite a bit because grabbing the star chips are really slow.
And like,
Yeah, but so far, a pretty good early game this record
you
has.
can't really go underneath the Luma cage.
We obviously have the near time save with the gateway time save, but other than that, this is really clean.
Yeah, Honey Hive 1 coming up here is probably one of the most like iconic skips in the run. Everyone who watches Galaxy loves watching Honey Hive 1 skip.
Like just clip into fucking.
Yeah, for sure. When I started running, Honey Hive 1 was like the first trick I learned, because that's the one I knew. Like, oh yeah, don't you go up this tree and then you skip all the way to the end?
Yes, the game wants us to go all the way around here through the middle and then down, but instead we're going to completely ignore that and just go up. And we're going to go up all the way to the tree. Grabbing some Stabits in the way, because we need those for later. We're going to do some fancy 2P movement up all this terrain. And you might think that I'm going the complete wrong direction. But yeah, we're actually just going to climb into the tree.
Also, that wall jump on that wall is actually pretty tricky. And that wall has like very weird properties where in some places it does let you wall jump and in some it doesn't. And it's very easy to slip off there and fall all the way down. But yeah.
You see I got a belly slide on the tree there, which gives me extra backwards momentum. So in this game, you basically want to be going backwards for like the optimal speed. because when Mario's facing backwards, he for some reason travels a lot faster. So you see on the tree there, I was facing backwards to get a lot more distance and makes it a lot easier. Yeah, that was a pretty clean tree skip.
Yeah, we also have some discussion in the chat right now about the version we're playing on. So Jay is playing on the Wii U Virtual Console version, which is the fastest if you use 2-player, because compared to the normal Wii, the Wii U has faster loads, and we also play on Japanese because it has faster text. There's also the Switch version, which gives you Korean, which is once again faster than Japanese. But there's no Korean version for the Wii U, so that isn't really viable. And Switch also has faster loads, but it's not really viable to play on 2-player mode on the Switch because it's very easy to strap together 2 Wii modes, but it's very hard to like use 2 Joy-Cons in one hand. It's much more difficult than you might think.
Hey guys, just got water.
See, I would think the opposite. That's interesting.
It's like the Wiimotes is like very like a brick, so you can like easily put them together. But a Joy-Con is like, it has like some round spots and like isn't that, I don't know how to describe it. It's really hard to put them together.
I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah, same thing as before here. We're gonna do the same movement up, but instead of the tree being there, it's gonna be this launch stab. We're gonna completely ignore that and keep climbing up to the windmill. Doing some fancy 2P movement. As you can see, the 2P jump just gives you so much extra height, allowing like these jumps to be a lot easier than what they would normally be.
Yeah, also a lot faster.
Fight.
You ready for class, Leo? Oh, nice gold.
Also, Jay's gonna position himself right in the middle to spawn inside the star after this cutscene.
Oh, I ruined the 2-2-2-2-2-2. Fuck.
Yeah, the 3D All-Stars version was actually the version I started out on, but then I switched over to the Wii so I could start using 2-player
I
mode.
need to ungold.
Because I just think it's so much more like, it's so satisfying doing some of the fast 2P movement sections. It's really nice. Also, yeah, I know you can't really see it because it's blurry, but that was a gold split, so that was apparently pretty good.
Yeah, that was really good on F2.
And there were people there watching it live. You just missed it. You should have been there.
Yeah, there was a pretty recent, I mean, route change, I think,
My Discord
for
the
Terrace Dome. We used to do the 3rd star in Good at Galaxy, but now we're gonna have to do loop to loop.
See
Which I
right
don't
here,
think-
I'm holding the boulder for some extra stab hits because there's a little hole in the wall there you can't really see because I'm moving so fast, but there's a hole in the wall that spawns boulders, so I'm holding the boulders to collide into each other and they give me extra stab hits. Just a minor optimization. It means I don't have to grab stab hits in a later level.
Because I feel like you're probably fine for purple coins. Like, that's probably fine.
Yeah, there's a very small time save that I'm missing out on here called B-less. So you see here there's a bee mushroom that you grab, but instead of doing the bee, you can go across without the bee by doing some very precise 2P jumps. They're actually pretty tight as Mario, because he doesn't really long jump that far. So you basically like need a ledge grab, like 90% of the time. Pretty tight.
Yeah.
It saves about 2 seconds, because you can do this beginning 2 phases without the bee.
Yeah, the bee really limits your movement. You can't long jump, you can't backflip, and jumping and like flying with the bee is very slow, so we want to get rid of it as soon as possible. And yeah, those jumps between those small little islands flying in third space are pretty big, so it's really hard to hit the jump between them. But yeah,
I'd imagine doing B-less is easier as Luigi.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
it is much easier.
Yeah, B-less is kind of the standard. It's still pretty tight, yeah, but...
Yeah, it's still tight, and it also requires 2P in RTA, at least. There's like a actual pixel-perfect 1P version that is just undoable.
Not really.
But yeah, it's much easier with Luigi.
As Luigi, I just hold right, and then I hold up right. When I get to like...
That is also a strat that Jay recently just added to runs, I think.
Yeah, unfortunately, adding more resets to my speedruns.
Oh, I saw that, Tibbs.
Adding in for your Luigi runs or your Mario?
For Mario, yeah.
Mario.
Always turns before.
Hey, also, I want to welcome chat to any questions you have. Feel free to ask us. We're here to inform and teach. And I love talking about this game. I can talk about this game for ages. So yeah, any questions you have, feel free. Because we have kind of an auto-scroller here, the loop-de-loop race. I mean, I already know what time I'm going to get, but if you want to guess the time, feel free to guess in chat. Times can end in 2, 4, 7, or 9 because of the way the frames line up in this game. Yeah, feel free to guess. A good guess is between 56 or 57, something like that. I already know what I'm going to get, but I'm not going to tell you.
You're really unlucky.
And don't cheat, chat. Don't check the leaderboards. Don't check the video. That would be lame.
I know there's some people in chat that already know.
Yeah. But this is one of the few stars where there's not really a difference between Mario and Luigi. Because, yeah, the movement with the manta ray is exactly the same. So we'll be getting exactly the same times as well.
Yeah, the main time save for this is taking optimal lines, so you want to be as close to the edges as possible, which looks very scary, but it's actually not as tight as it looks.
It does look pretty tight, actually. I think in the last turn especially it looks pretty scary.
And I guess the one cool thing about this level with 2P is that you can actually grab stab bits. In 1P, you don't have the extra cursor, so you can't actually grab any of these bits that are in the level. You can only do that with 2P, which is the main reason behind this route, because usually in one player you would use, well, you would do good egg 3 instead of loop-de-loop to get some extra stab bits to make the route possible.
Stop making me jump. Okay.
And this turn is just really scary. You basically just full force bus driver your Wiimote to the left, and it kind of just works out.
That's one of the things that blows my mind in these runs is how close you get to the edges on these stages.
Oh yeah, the task for this level is honestly incredible.
Yeah, I've seen that, and it's absolutely wild.
See, I see some people in chat talking about double death warp. So yeah, if as you're loading into the race, you can. I think it's not frame perfect. It's 2 or 3 frames where you can actually jump off the manta ray, and you can jump out of the arena and die. And if you do that twice, you can actually skip the whole tutorial and go straight into the fight. And it saves about in the race even. It saves about 7 seconds, but it's really hard. You need to do 2 of these 3 frame inputs, and there's not really a good visual cue or anything.
Yeah, you kind of just have to time your input for that within the fade out of the tutorial, and it's really hard to perform. And the scary thing is, if you get the first jump off the manta ray, you still have to get the second one, and if you miss the second one, you're soft lock, so you can't do anything anymore. So doing that in runs is just another strat that makes your reset so much heavier.
Oh, I tried doing a drawing and then it buffered. Oh no. Sky internet. Yeah, I was gonna kind of explain the route, but I had to refresh. Oh no. Can also crash a game. Yeah, there is actually, if you die, I think it's too late, or if you get stuck in the water, you can actually soft lock or crash. Silo did then at 242 once.
No, listen, we don't talk about that.
So I gotta mention it.
I think it crashes when you spin while you're off the manta ray. Because yeah, if you're on the manta ray, you can't spin usually, but if you get off and then spin, the game just can't handle that because you weren't supposed to, and it just crashes and it's not fun.
There's actually a pretty simple skip coming up. So the way they designed the Mega Leg gravity is they didn't put the gravity around the planet, they made Mega Leg the gravity. So the gravity is huge. So we can really quickly, as soon as we spawn in, do a 2P jump, and it just immediately puts us in the gravity because of how big it is. It's actually kind of insane. So you can see I just backflip straight into the gravity and immediately the boss fight.
Ronnie, so much of peace and love. Fucking hell.
It's pretty cool.
That doesn't look like that should happen. It's so far away.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how big it is.
Yeah, I think they made the gravity field for the planet unnecessarily big, but it works out for us. And it does look pretty cool and flashy.
I trade a sub for 3D World practice? No.
Yeah, the movement on Mega Leg is actually kind of janky because of the way the gravity is. It's like always trying to adjust as you're jumping across it.
And Jay's just gonna get on the leg here and then try to do a long jump and curve around the gravity field. Also mauling right here.
Yeah, you don't want to bonk like 4 times like I did. That's time loss.
Man, that was gonna be good.
Yeah, I think this was my best ever early game at the time. I think it was a 29-42. I have the splits. Yeah, 42.
I think it was a 42, okay. I thought it was a 37, but...
Wait, Skippy gets it. W.
So it looks like you've been pretty clean so far, aside from that bonking that just happened.
Yeah, I think this is like
Stupid.
15 off my summer best, like 15 or 20. It's pretty good for
This is
half
really
an hour
good.
gameplay.
It is really good for the Galaxy games. A really good run is like, or like really good parts of run is when you're like 1 minute of SOP each hour. That is like really good.
Skippy.
But yeah, that was pretty clean.
Yeah, so for those that don't really know what we're talking about, on the splits on the bottom left, you can see that we have, you know, the green timer there. Underneath, we have some of best segments, which is this by here, which is all of my golds added together. So that would be like my theoretical, like perfect run if I was to add all my best segments together. Then underneath that, you have best possible time, which shows if I was to tie the rest of my golds, what time I would get. And then underneath, there's best split times, which shows how I am on my best pace ever. It's actually like a lot of information to have on splits. It's really helpful.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that throughout the run. How's it going and stuff. Right now, 20 of SOP, really good. Really solid so far.
I'm not sure how long I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah, now we're gonna be heading up left to the fountain. This is like the most notorious dome in any percent because this every level in this is like really hard. It's like the kind of early game reset heavy point.
Yeah, and Terrace is not easy either, especially Honey Hive. Honey Hive 1 and 2.
Like, now that I've fixed my
Also some
schedule.
hard stars to perform.
Getting used to eating breakfast is weird. I don't like breakfast.
But
Breakfast is strange.
yeah, I mean Space Junk 1. What can we say?
For breakfast.
I'm pretty sure Space Junk 1 went well. No, it didn't. Oh, I'm coping already. Okay, so there is a very tricky skip that is very notorious for just always going wrong. You know, you get out of Terrace, you're on a really good pace, and then immediately you have Space Junk 1, and it's just ruined immediately. So yeah, we were talking earlier about how you get a bunch more momentum when you're traveling backwards. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and align Mario to have him face towards like the right, where you see all the other planets.
That works.
And yeah, trying to get him to face the right way can be very finicky, and he usually takes a couple of tries. But yeah, as you can see, nailed it all the way to the other side. Saves about 20 seconds over the casual strat, which is grabbing the star chips and going around the weird spherical planets.
I haven't been waking up till like 11 or 12. And by then I just wait.
We made a nice line of arrows.
There's like no point eating breakfast at like noon.
Oh wait, yeah, I can see your arrows.
By the way, we can't see each other's drawings, so that can be confusing, but
Because night toast is
yeah,
good.
I'm sure we're doing fine.
we're doing fine.
Yeah, very nice, very clean ending section though. Like, the way these like kind of, I don't even know what to call them, like the shapes. They only appear when you get close. So you kind of like long jumping into the abyss and praying that they appear.
Milkshakes or shit like that. It actually like throws me off. I'm really not good when it comes to shakes.
How do you do Megalec skip with 1P? Okay, yeah. So we talked. I'm gonna go back to Megalec where we did the skip with the big gravity field, and there's also 1P versions of that. So that's not 2P only. Can do a triple jump on the first platform. I know it looks pretty small, but if you just do a triple jump on it and then spin, it works as well. You just don't have to set that up with two-player mode.
Like buying, like say I wanted to go to like a cafe or something and get breakfast. The prices are ridiculous. Like
Yeah, going into Space Chunk 2, which has some pretty interesting stuff going on. So before the run, I would go into Space Chunk 2 and manipulate these cycles at the end for the boss fight. So the way these cycles work for Camilla is she throws fireballs and shells in a cycle. But if you actually go into the level before the run, you can kind of advance the cycle, so the next one she throws will always be a shell. So they're currently set up right now in the run. Every time she throws, it's going to be a shell, which saves about 8 seconds rather than waiting for to throw the fireballs.
Yeah, and usually it's the phases work like this, that she is alternating between fireballs and green shells on phase 1. So we would cancel the phase before the run in the fireball phase, so she would throw a green shell next time when we're here. And for phase 3 it's 2 fireballs and a green shell and so on. So we basically just wait out the fireballs before the run, and then we get the green shells within the run.
Yeah, small thing is I'm carrying a green shell into the fight with me, so I can do an insta-shot. I just jump and shake really quickly, I can immediately throw the shell, and that's the first phase done. Yeah, same thing in most Mario games, all bosses have 3 phases, except these don't really change, they're just kind of the same. Yeah, there's not really much to optimizing this fight except getting as close as possible, but not too close. If you go too close, you can actually like hit her with a shake, which completely gets rid of a hitbox, and the shell goes through, and it looks very stupid, but it's happened a bunch. You don't want to go too close.
Hopefully the rest of the world can find peace and love.
Question for Jay: what is your pick for a trick that looks super cool? Can you land in a relatively short amount of time? That's a good question, actually. I would definitely say Mega Leg, but that's pretty necessary anyway, like the Mega Leg triple jump.
Yeah, there's no way you can do casual strats in Mega Leg. That's just probably even worse than doing the skip.
I'm trying to think what else.
I'll say that's one that I saw that I'm like, I kind of want to learn that for my playthroughs.
Yeah, you could definitely do that in playthroughs for sure. It's not too hard to do. Usually like a strategy you learn at the very beginning is Honey F1, but I think it's already like a bit too difficult.
Yeah, I would say Honey Hive 1, but kind of do the belly slide version. Because,
Oh yeah, Barbara Breeze. We'll get to that later, but Barbara Breeze has a huge skip which saves like 2 minutes of auto-scroller, and it's not difficult at all, so I think that's a good answer.
See, I feel like I should probably mention, you just saw me clip through the floor there. So what I'm doing is I'm actually crouching, then shaking, and then uncrouching, which kind of forces Mario's hitbox downwards into the hitbox of the launch stat, which just allows me to clip through straight away.
Fuck, I shot the wrong... Ah, got the way. What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm trying to
And a
think
small skip here.
one of the skips.
Doing a long 2P jump to skip one of the sling pods. And now heading into the fight. Also some pretty interesting strats within this fight. Usually we need to shoot Mario into this boss to stun him. But we can basically just do long jumps around, and if we're quick enough we can still hit the backside of him.
No, this is you, Logan.
Looks like he missed Toad
Messed up
strat.
the Toad shot.
Yeah, that's lame.
Logan the spider.
Not even getting Toad shot? What is this run? Yeah, so usually what we would do is we would hit the bulbs in a certain way to line us up next to, like there's a Toad that kind of hangs out on one of the sling pods, and you can use Toad to actually shoot at the boss, which can act as another hit. So we would do one of the hits, and then while we're doing the hit we would shoot Toad, so then it hits it during the cutscene, and it saves a it's a good amount of time. It's like 3 or 4 seconds, but it's kind of precise.
Yeah, it's really difficult to do.
Listen, I'm just,
Only
I'm
like
just
top
curious.
top
I'm
runner
just asking.
strats. World record level kind of strat.
Alright, I just loaded up Twitter. The first thing I see, guys, what would happen if I put a stinging nettle in my ass? Thank you so much, Ukamni.
I also saw a plus skip in chat, which is not too hard to do if you know what you're doing.
Everyone's so down
Oh
bad.
yeah,
Holy
definitely
shit.
plus skip. Yeah, I would 100% recommend that. It's a very cool looking one, because
Yeah,
you can
let's
skip
get
the
a
whole
drink for
auto-scroller.
Ukamni's tweet.
And yeah, it's definitely not that hard. if you put enough time into it.
Yeah, probably no one even knows what we're talking about yet, but we're gonna see it later.
Yeah, we'll explain that when we get there. We got plenty of time.
Second check mark. Yeah,
But now the first Hungry Luma. This is why we collect starbits in, especially early game. We basically collect starbits in every single level because we already have to do the first Hungry Luma this early in a run, and we need 400 starbits for this. And it's Sling Pod. It's probably the worst one. It's really difficult.
This is a rough level.
Yeah, lining up the Sling Pod shots is really difficult, and if you just like a few pixels off, Mario just will shoot in a completely different direction. And there's not really any way to back it up. If you do, you're basically just dead. And it also screws up all your cycles as well.
Yeah, this whole level is completely based on cycles. The amount of time you save is going to be dependent on which cycle you make. So there's one cycle which saves like about 1 or 2 seconds, but it is so precise. So you need to be so fast.
Man, so
Yeah, Jay didn't get it here. I don't even know if he went for it at this time.
blocked him. You would know what
I'm assuming your speed isn't impacted here, whether you're Mario or Luigi, right? You just
Oh no, this is the
same
exact same.
speed.
Yeah.
I was like,
same.
that seems like a silly question, but
Oh no,
you
that's
never
not
know with games.
Yeah,
There are no silly questions here.
Play, what would you do if
Yeah,
you were a
everything
spider?
about Galaxy is silly.
She's gonna ban me.
Yeah, there's actually a pretty silly trick coming up. Balrog out of bounds. Everyone knows good old Broob.
Do you know if you got it or not? Or do you know
No,
more
I
spoil
didn't
it?
in this run. No.
Oh man.
Spoilers.
Yeah,
yeah,
to be
this
fair,
is- Rough.
we have seen this trick at AGDQ, I think twice.
Yeah, me and
Jay
Tibbs got it in
and
the
Tibbs.
race.
And if you remember, it's a really cool looking strat, and it is already super difficult with Luigi. It's like you can't even imagine how difficult that strat is, and it's like 10 times more hard with Mario. So just recently, like a few weeks ago, 2-3 weeks, there was even found a setup for Mario that makes it RTA viable, and even with that, it's just impossible.
Come on, man.
I think Jay has done it in like a few runs, but
I'm gonna try and do my best visual representation of Balrog out of bounds. So we're gonna be going around and around the platform to be gaining kind of speed and to position myself ready for the triple jump. And then we're gonna just shoot all the way out of bounds and then go all the way across past all the lasers. And we're gonna try and avoid the lasers as well because they have their own gravity field. So yeah, you see like these kind of brown rocks out of bounds. I would be just traversing all across there. But this is very hard. Like it's frame perfect to get the mega triple. You also need to be in a very precise position, and the platform's also moving. So it's like very hard. Doesn't happen very often, but if you do, it saves like 15 to 20, depending on how good the movement out of bounds is, which is very tricky to get right because the controls are kind of inverted because of the way the slopes work. It's if you want to see it, I do recommend looking it up because it's definitely the coolest trick in the game. Like it's awesome, but it's just very hard. I see Tibbs in chat. Tibbs loves Balrog out of bounds is married on you, Tibbs.
So bad today, man. This is actually cringe.
Did you say that there's a setup for Mario that was found like 2 or 3 weeks ago? Is that
Yeah, it
Did I
was
hear
pretty
that right?
recently, which involves
Yeah.
like getting out of bounds and then bouncing off cannonball, which is just it's just unreal levels of precise.
And this chat, just to note, this world record's from like 3 weeks ago, so I don't even know, would that have been a thing? I feel like that wouldn't have been a thing you would have been trying here then, or?
There's a couple of kind of different setups, but they're all kind of the same, just frame perfect, very precise.
For my
And
chance, we took them away.
it's just one of those tricks that like you go for. It doesn't really lose time to go for because it's an auto scroller anyway. If you get it, it's kind of a bonus. But yeah.
yeah, especially if you like start implementing it, it's a very nice trick. If you get it, oh my god, yeah, 20-second time save. If you don't,
Yeah.
oh well, just the good old split times, I guess.
It's good that I guess as a consolation, yeah, you don't lose time for trying it, but
Oh yeah.
the time
That's
you
all- that's-
save if you get it, though.
Yeah, that's the only
It's
good
so
thing
nice.
about
Yeah.
it. You can go for it, it's not a big deal.
And you get to the point where like one of your PBs has it, and then it's like, oh, I gotta compare to this, and just lose time to it every time.
Yeah, I think if you had only had like one attempt at group, and if you would like die attempting it, I think it wouldn't be in runs at all. It's just too difficult.
Fucking hell, Logan.
Yeah, you'll probably recognize this level from earlier. This is the exact same level, but with a funny red filter and a timer at the bottom. You see, for some reason they give us a time limit, but we usually don't get anywhere near close to the time limit. They're like very generous. I think they give us 4 and a bit minutes for this one, but we can do it in about 50. Yeah, it's basically the exact same level, the same skip from earlier. But very punishing if you die though, because there's no checkpoints in any of these comets. So if you die, you go right back to the beginning. And especially this ending part, where like it's,
Oh, nice. That's 2 seconds.
I wouldn't say too common, but you can occasionally miss the platform or bonk. Yeah, the run's just over.
Oh, miss the spin input.
Miss spin input, yeah. Good old Wii remote.
Yeah, that is actually a bit of a problem. It isn't too common, but sometimes your Wii really doesn't like communicating with your Wiimote, and sometimes you shake your Wiimote, nothing happens, and especially in a section like that in Space Jam Comet at the end, if you miss a spin, you're just done for.
Yeah.
It's like really unfortunate.
So yeah, I just noticed on the blurry splits, another
I don't know
gold.
what it is exactly.
It looks like a small one. I think it's 0.8.
Am I playing on Dolphin? No.
Yeah, still
I'm
a gold.
playing on Wii U Virtual
Wait, there's a
Console.
couple different ways we can go about doing rolling green. As you can probably see in the background, there's a small rail. So we're gonna do a very minor skip coming up, where we're gonna jump off the right side of the rail. But there's actually a more optimal way. If you go from the left, you can jump straight down and skip the entire rail and land on the platform. But that's a bit harder, so I'm only doing the regular right side jump.
Also, yeah, looking at the sum of best and the best possible times right now. Right now we're looking at 49 seconds of the sum of bet splits. Around 45 minutes in. So it's like a good run. It definitely got a bit worse than it was earlier, but so far no major mistakes, so can't really complain.
I think he needs to be restrained.
Yeah, main like optimization for rolling green is not really that much. It's just keeping tight lines, like trying to be as direct as possible towards the ending. And you can also do like double jumps with the ball to kind of keep momentum rather than just rolling. But those can be kind of finicky. Sometimes the ball just doesn't like to jump. Yeah, almost done with Fountain. So then at this point, where you're out the fountain, you think, wow, I finally made it out. We might have a run going.
So true.
Because literally like 90% of runs don't make it past this point. Early game is such like a gauntlet.
It's all quiet anyway.
Especially in any percent.
At this point of the run, are you feeling like, is that where like a lot of those, I know we went through Rube already and we had a couple of other skips. Is there a lot, is this kind of the point that you're past some of those more scary ones, or?
Specifically as Mario, Kitchen has a lot of those like really tricky, very punishing skips. But they're a lot nicer than some of the ones in Fountain.
Okay.
Yeah, Kitchen is the dome after this one, so.
Yeah, Kitchen's the next one we're gonna be going to.
All right. We'll probably then, after this stage, I'd say we'll go ahead and pause and take a break.
Yeah,
That's
sounds
probably
good.
a
That
good
sounds
spot
good.
to stop.
Yep. Also, we just went over that, but
Yeah.
yeah, you just did a backflip into like nothing, died, and then spawned at another place. That's called a death warp. We basically just hit an invisible checkpoint for the level right before dying there, and the game thought, oh yeah, we were further in the level than we actually were, so it respawned us next to the thwomp.
Like time save.
The death orb itself doesn't even like save time at all, but the Thwomp cycle is a lot better. So it saves around like 2-3 seconds to do that.
Yeah, these boss fights in Galaxy are actually kind of interesting. Like, there's 3 different Bowser boss fights, and they've all got that kind of different ways of skipping phases. So initially, you'll see me just land and immediately come down and just smack Bowser in the face. That already skips one of his first attacks, which is a jump into some lasers, and he immediately pounds on me and lands on the, I don't know, what do you even call these, like the blue parts of the stage where you damage him. And now for these second phases, he's going to be shooting fireballs, so I'm immediately going to just jump into him again and spin to cancel his fireball attack. And it's just going to do the same thing again. He's going to land on the blue, and we just run around the planet chasing after him.
And for those cancels, it's really important that you hit Bowser on the underneath of his like chin part, so you don't get knocked backwards, but forwards right into him. Because otherwise you'll not get knocked back, and you won't be able to get up in time to make Bowser hit the blue part. So yeah, that's really important for that.
I will get a 49 one.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for Fountain.
Maybe when I
think it was a pretty good exit. It was a 50-16.
I don't want to have a do gateway.
It's pretty good.
Category.
I'm not sure if anyone's ever got sub 50. I think Rockin might have. Rockin's also grinding for any % Mario record right now. And I'm not sure. I feel like he probably has got a 49.
That's the one reason I don't want to do it, Wham. That's the one.
Yeah, I
fucking
looked.
reason. I don't think
I was looking before this, and it looks like Rockin got a PB around the same time you did as well.
Yeah, he's been grinding a lot recently.
Yeah, you know,
I definitely wouldn't be surprised if you get a 24 soon.
Have you tried getting a better mindset? Have you tried getting a better mindset? Shut up. I'm not mad.
Yeah. 224 is definitely the next minute market. It's just like about to happen. It's not gonna take a long time.
It's just 5 minutes of my life every reset. It's fine.
But Jay, I think Jay is focusing on the 120 categories right now.
Sigma middle grind set.
So there's a chance for other players to catch up for sure. Yeah, that's it with Faun. I think that would be the time for the break, right?
Yeah, we could pause the video here.
The best thing happened today.
Wait for our tech
What happened?
to do so. We'll go ahead and take a break here, chat. Coming up with hotfix shows, we like to take wellness breaks twice a show, just to get up and let everyone stretch. So we'll be right back after a quick 5-minute break. Hey, all you cool cats and gamers. Welcome back to Victory Lap, the GDQ hotfix show that highlights recent world record and personal best runs, and the runners who made it happen. I'm your host, Nuclear Reaction, and tonight we are watching Jay's run of Super Mario Galaxy Any % Mario, which he recently got a world record in about 3 weeks ago. We just finished Fountain, and we're heading on to the rest of the run. Before we get started, though, just a quick few announcements for everyone. If you're watching on YouTube, hi, hello. You can go to twitch.tv/gamesdonequick if you're interested in looking at our live content, starting weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern and weekends at 1 p.m. Eastern. Also, your subs, gift subs, Prime Gaming subs, and bits help support weekly hotfix content. Please consider supporting our daily content if you enjoy these hotfix shows. And if you have any ideas for a hotfix show of your own, or maybe a one-off event, feel free to go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix to submit your ideas. All right, we're gonna get back into the run here. Go ahead and give a countdown and we'll get the video restarted here in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, sounds good. We're gonna start heading over to the kitchen now. Kitchen's got some pretty interesting skips and levels coming up. Swing Kitchen, we've got Beach Bowl, Bubble Breeze. We're not going to see Boy Base until later. Ghostly, and then Airship and Murder. Yeah, we're going to initially go into Beach Bowl. And what the game's going to want us to do, it's going to want us to go underwater and start searching for star chips. But we're not going to do that. That is a lot slower than what we're actually going to do. So yeah, the game wants us to go down into the water. I should probably change color because light blue in Beach Bowl is not going to look very well. Yeah, game wants us to go down there. But we're instead going to go all the way up to the left and start climbing these like rock sections. Yeah, we're going to do 2 quick 2P jumps to climb up. And that's basically going to be it for the level. This is a really, really short stage. But these jumps can actually be kind of tight as Mario, because his lower jump height. Yeah, pretty clean Beach Bowl one. Can't really ask for much more than that.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of the theme with Kitchen. Lots of quick stages.
Definitely.
That looks so easy. Are those jumps kind of tricky to get at all, or?
The 2P jumps, so in the game there's an Nintendo mechanic called the home and ground pound, where if you shake and then press Z, you'll do like a home and attack. But if you do the Z press within 6 frames, you can then press the 2PA button to get a 2P jump. So it's not like the most precise thing ever. It's like 60 FPS game, 1 in 6. Oh god, late maths. My brain. But yeah, it's a 6 frame window in 60 FPS games, so it's not the most precise thing ever, but is still missable.
Definitely.
Okay, another bit of 2P tech here. Silence to explain the 2P long jump. I know you like these.
Oh, I love these. I love doing these. So yeah, as you saw there, Mario was kind of like doing a long jump out of the water, which usually isn't possible, but when we get into the water, we do a ground pound to like, start being able to move into water itself as far as possible. But the important part about that is if we keep holding Z, we basically buffer the Z input throughout the water, and if we get to the surface and hold the 2PA button, we immediately do a long jump on top of the surface of the water, which is not intended, but it works really well for us there.
Yeah, most of that level is pretty self-explanatory. Apart from the beginning, you just gotta steal a shell off this poor penguin and take all the credit. Yeah, Beach Bowl 3's got a pretty tricky skip right at the end. It saves about 20 to 30 seconds, but it's probably one of the hardest tricks in the run is 1P, but 2P we've got a couple different kind of setups that make it slightly nicer.
Only slightly though, it's still bad. It's still a bad trick.
Bad. And you gotta do this one twice.
Hi, Logan.
Feels bad for all the 3D All-Stars runners that don't have notches. Because
no reference,
really
no reference at all.
Have you run this game on 3D All-Stars at all, or?
That's actually what I started with. I started running on All-Stars for a few months before I switched to the Wii. But that was kind of like my introduction.
Compared to some other top runners, Jay is actually a pretty new runner. Only has been running this game for like 1.5 years. And worked this way all the way to the top already. It's pretty crazy, to be honest.
I thought you've been running this a lot longer, being honest.
No, I think I started in like September, like October 20. Well, now time is.
Yeah.
2020.
Now I'm realizing how long ago this was.
Also, the skip coming up.
Yeah, I'm gonna be going up left, grabbing the side of this wall and then 2P jumping. It's actually like kind of precise. It's a lot harder than it looks, I think.
Yeah, that wall that we're trying to wall jump on, again, it's a wall that isn't supposed to be wall jumpable. Most of the spots on that wall are just gonna like push you off and you're gonna fall to your death, but we like go around it at the top to the top, and there's the small spot where we can wall jump, and yeah, it's kind of hard to hit, but
so yeah, I see a question in the chat about like the rules and stuff for this run. So we've got 5 major categories. So we've got 2 separate ones for any percent Mario, any percent Luigi, 120 Mario, 120 Luigi. So any percent is just beat the game as fast as possible. We don't really have any major glitches that can like skip stages or whatever, so any percent is just getting 60 stars and then beating Bowser. And then 120 is kind of like the 100% category for each individual character. So you got 120 stars as Mario and Luigi. Then we've also got 242, which is both 120s back to back, and then after doing both of those you unlock 2 additional stars. But that's like the really long one, that's like 11 and a bit hours.
No? Okay.
So that's basically just like a general overview of the categories, but today we're showing any percent Mario.
And also, if you might ask what those 2 kind of extra stars are, it's nothing interesting. You basically just collect 100 purple coins straight in a line. You just walk for like a minute.
Okay, never mind, it's fine.
And that's it. And you do it with Mario and Luigi. And that's it. It's nothing interesting, really.
Yeah, huge skip there you just seen. So we just went completely out of bounds and skipped the entire bubble section. That's actually like one of the surprisingly easy skips that saves like... It's probably one of the biggest time saves in the run, and it's something that just everyone can do. You just gotta backflip and you can land on that ceiling. And you can just skip the entire section.
Yeah, that is definitely the trick that everyone needs to learn right when you start. You just don't want to do that casual, it's way worse.
Yeah, the bubble can be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Hey, Z-Cube. So true.
Yeah, Beach Ball S coming up next. We're gonna want this shell again.
So
But we're gonna want to kind of spin from far away to like grab the shell, but kind of make it home onto you so you can get some extra swims. But I missed it there, so I gotta grab the backup shell. Losing a couple seconds. The camera is being very unhelpful. Yeah, there's kind of like a running meme in the Galaxy community because the green shells. So there's green shells and red shells, kind of like Mario Kart, where the green ones just kind of go in a straight line and the red ones home in. But in Galaxy, it's kind of like the opposite. Like the green shells love to just home in on random things, and it's so bad. You see some crazy clips where the green shells just go in like the complete opposite direction, and always got to be careful with them.
It looks like Jay had a bit of trouble in this level. It's gonna lose a bit of time.
Yeah,
Usually we have
one of
enough.
the most sloppy levels.
Usually we have enough time to take that ice flower all the way to the star. But yeah, Jay had to do some backup long jumps here. It's not a big deal, it lost like 5 seconds maybe.
No?
Other than that, we haven't seen really any major mistakes, so...
No one?
Yeah, first Ghostly level now. There's a pretty, I don't want to say major, but it's a pretty important skip in Ghostly 1 called Boolean, which is something that I don't go for as Mario. It's like, I don't know, we can get to it later in the level, but that's one thing that I don't do. I just do the regular mention clip and it loses about 10 seconds. So that's like one of the things that could be improved on this run, definitely. But it's like, it's a very precise trick. We can kind of explain when we get there.
Yeah, I think Mario makes it a lot harder as well because you need to do a spin to do it. For Luigi, there's a nice setup where you just position yourself in a way that kind of just works out. But with Mario, you have to perform a spin, which makes it, I think, much more inconsistent.
So yeah, you see that I waited a bit there before grabbing the rainbow stars because I was building up speed to get more acceleration so I can get more use out of the rainbow star, which will allow me to just take it through this whole section here. Using it to kill the boo really quickly instead of luring it into the lights. There's a light in that room that it wants you to kill it with. You can use the rainbow star. And then we can basically just carry this rainbow star throughout the whole room, grabbing all the chips really quickly.
Jay, how do you suggest coping while running a shit category, most specifically green stars?
Yeah, this ending section, you're gonna see me long jump straight to the right and then kind of clip underneath the mention using the pull stars. So that's like kind of the regular strat, but then there's also a more advanced strat where you go kind of... There's like an invisible ledge. I don't know, it's like super hard to
No, I shot myself.
explain. There's an invisible ledge under the mention you can land on and then clip through a very close wall. And it's like really hard. Also, I am for some reason shooting myself with stabbits as the boo. That is not what you want to do. Yeah, As Hex said, just go through the wall. That's literally it. You just go through. They forgot to put collision there.
For the advanced strat, you basically just stand on the floor of like the current room we're in right now, but we are inside the wall, so we're still out of bounds, and it's like a very small margin where you're still out of bounds, but you can stand on the floor. It's like really hard to do. Very easy to just clip out or clip in entirely, and that will mess up the trick.
Yeah, good old sweet coming up. I think we should do some counting, Silo. What do you think?
Oh yeah, that sounds amazing, man. I want to count some long jumps.
Yeah, this is basically what everyone thinks of when they think of Galaxy speedrunning. You just use a long jump. This whole level, there's not really much to it. There's like cycles you want to try and make, but it's literally just all long jumps and trying not to die. What you see here, as like before I'm entering the level, I'm actually long jumping away as I fed the Luma. So we need to go talk to Luigi here, because he spawns in some extra stars for us to collect. And we go back to the launch star, because there's kind of like a delay on the launch star. When they spawn in, you have to wait 2 seconds before you can actually use it. So we actually use those seconds to run over to Luigi, and it saves a bit of extra time.
I think I still do know the long jump count for this level. Wasn't it like 27?
Yeah, let's get a tally going. 5.
I think you're a bit behind. I'm at like 10 already.
Oh, I'm having the sky delay. I should probably refresh.
But yeah, as easy as this level looks, it actually is very hard to hit these optimal cycles. Also, if you go this fast, the camera, especially in that last section, doesn't really work with you and you can't really see where you're going. So you do have to be on the cycle so you don't fall in any holes. But yeah, other than that, you just want to get your long jump angles the right way, cut corners, and take the most straight line as possible.
Yeah, I kind of 27 long jumps.
Oh, you actually can't. Oh my god. I'm just seeing it now.
It looks like one of those levels that it looks really easy when you watch it, but would actually be really scary to do.
Yeah,
Especially if you've never done it before.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's one of those levels where you just do it over so many times, it just becomes muscle memory.
Donating 1 gift sub for every long jump in the whole round.
And now
so another really quick start coming up.
Another reason why we talk to Luigi. Yeah, Luigi unlocks those. Luigi unlocks those stars where he sends you a letter and says, "Oh, I got lost in this galaxy. Can you please help and rescue me? And I'll give you a star or something." And yeah, this is the shortest star in the game. We basically just bounce on a Goomba, do a wall jump, and Luigi's on top of this roof, waiting to give us a star.
Scotland yoink my bitrate. Nah, this guy's just trash. Fucking terrible provider.
So I just noticed Sweet Sweet was a gold as well.
That's funny.
That looks like it was 0.00.
Probably was.
It's like the 4th gold this run.
Yeah, there's no way you gold Sweet more than like 0.1.
Gold Sweet. So I can probably switch back to blue now that we're not in Beach Ball.
Holy shit! Every fucking.
Gotta keep the 1P cursor color.
The quiz thing, the buddy quiz.
I mean, I guess orange is kind of 2P.
Yeah, you could be 2P, I'll be 1P. Yeah, so this level here, it wants us to go like kind of around and then through this big center area, but we're just gonna go around and go right towards the side. I'm gonna jump off the side and use the extra momentum that we get from traveling backwards to jump down right to the lower section where the star is. And it saves going through the whole slide section. It's actually like a bit harder with Mario because he gets slightly less backwards momentum than Luigi. But still,
I am not ready. There'll probably just be a normal stream Saturday.
Still a trick that I'd recommend people learning because it saves a decent amount of time.
I mean, there's also a much easier version of this where you just long jump downwards. It's around like 2-3 seconds. 2-3 seconds slower than this, but totally worth, because it can be difficult to hit
I need to
that
stream it too
jump with Mario.
because like the game's already in 480p. My camera's fucking.
Other than that, we did a very short revisit of the Terrace Dome to get those quick stars, since the Comet stars don't spawn until you have 13 stars. And we just don't have those 13 stars when we are within the Terrace Dome at the beginning, so revisiting Terrace and getting good XL plus the Honey Hive Comet star is worth, since they're so
Why is
fast.
there an age restriction on it?
Actually bonking there on the terrace entrance, the kitchen even. Time loss. Don't want to be doing that. Jay, can you not do the ledge skip you do for Luigi as Mario? No, that one's Luigi only. So there is one that you can do in that level, Honey Hive Comet, where you go a lot further right and land right on the start platform, but that's Luigi only. We don't do that in Mario.
It already barely works with Luigi.
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna wait.
There's no way Mario can reach.
One day.
Yeah, it's the same level from earlier, but it's just the ending section and everything's moving a lot faster. But basically just long jumping up left to the ending section again. You gotta do the skip twice in the run, and it can be a giant pain, because you get it the first time, you think, oh, that's good. And then the second time causes a huge issue. And each death in this level loses like 30.
How long is it? 15 years.
At least you don't have to deal with RNG in this run.
Something like that. I don't know. Close enough.
That is true. That is very true.
Because yeah,
No, there's still
there is basically, in any percent at least,
dealing with the rest of
there's no RNG at all that can lose you any major time. Or at all, basically. Basically, the only RNG that really exists is, I don't want to say it, but vine growth, but I guess we can talk about that
Every
later.
time you mention a vine growth.
Listen, it exists. It's the funniest RNG ever.
Wait, what?
Okay, so later in, for example, in Goatleaf Galaxy and also in Gusty Garden, there are like some sections where we kill a piranha and there's like a vine growing out of it. And the speed of the vine growing is actually RNG and can vary to like around a second. It's interesting, and
Who loves talking about his vine RNG?
Is that's a real thing?
that is a
Yeah, it's
thing.
a real thing.
That's so goofy. What?
It's one of
What
the most
a weird thing
things.
to have RNG on.
I don't know who decided that at Nintendo.
I don't know if you could do that actually. It's already pretty
Oh yeah, let's give the vine some variants with some RNG with a speed. What? I don't know why. That's so much work.
Also, yeah, chat, same thing with Loop De Loop. If you want to guess the time for this race, a good guess is between 38 and 43. I mean, I already know what time that I'm going to get, but feel free to guess anyway. I guess this can end in 247 or 9. There's not really much we can do in this section, apart from it's just optimizing the pulse star movement, and you want to occasionally bounce off these giant drumsticks of meat to get like an extra boost of speed. But other than that, there's not really too much interesting stuff to talk about. It looks like it was a pretty clean race.
I'm gonna say 39, 80.
Alright, any 39, 25
80.
in the chat room.
Yeah, you went too far. You went too far.
Ah,
Alright, this is where my big time save is. This is where I dropped my controller and my world record twice. So yeah, I am currently plus 13. But watch
Yeah,
as I
now
go.
think-
this next level is definitely one of my favorites. I know you like keyless silo.
I mean, I don't like it as Mario, but yeah, it's a cool strat for sure.
I mean, I'm not really
It's
making
not that
an opinion,
bad
it's
as
already there, you can see it
Mario.
on the splits, but
So yeah,
still.
coming up, Ghostly Secret. It's a very fast star. At the end section, in like the meta splatter kind of section, there's usually a key to grab that starts an auto-scroller.
Wait, this is in Google?
And it kind of like there's some doors that appear if you start the auto-scroller, but the hitboxes for those doors that appear still exist if you don't start the auto-scroller. So we basically try to do some tight jumps to wall jump off those doors and stand on the door frames,
Time save.
which we're gonna see Jay do in just a second.
Yeah, I love this ending section. It's so satisfying to do. But at least it's so fast. Like the auto scroller usually is very slow, but we can just completely skip it just by all the geometry still being there.
Nice.
Yeah, it's coming up right now.
Look at that fucking time save.
Yeah, well done there.
You can't
We kind of have a visual cue where the door is, because we can still see the coins that are inside of the door frame. But yeah, it's still very hard to do, especially as Mario, because the jump is very tight.
Horrible bitrate restart run, cry. Shit.
Yeah, almost done with Kitchen. Kitchen is probably one of the shorter domes in the run, but it's got a lot of mean levels. Like Beach Ball 3 and Comet can be kind of annoying. This can also be a giant pain, because this level uses a lot of green shells, and as I mentioned earlier, green shells like to misbehave. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they went well in this run.
Yeah, 24 will be.
Yeah, this was a pretty good segment.
Man, would have been really nice to see some green shell action.
Go back to ESA. I want to watch the stream.
Yeah, it happens way too
I'll be back
often.
in July, hopefully.
You can't escape the green
I'm
shells.
in a bit of a pickle because like I got two trips I want to make in
So you see that I'm not actually shooting to the correct ship here. I'm just shooting to this one on the left. It allows us to grab this pulse star and skip a whole section and get to the ending really quickly.
Also, Jay's gonna do a long jump off this platform to the top left to gain momentum off the moving platform and hit the bridge early. Then do a triple jump into the fight.
Yeah, this fight's super satisfying to do optimally. Like, you can just immediately chain all these shells. So we're gonna initially start going left, and then we're gonna go right. I'm trying to do arrows at the same time, but I'm pretty sure my stream's delayed. And then yeah, we're actually gonna go over to the left and keep this this shell through the cutscene, and then do an insta throw, so that'll just immediately hit the ship. And then the last shell. That was a really clean fight.
Nice.
Jay, change your Discord.
That was basically perfect.
ESA is not in one day. What?
The problem with that fight is if it doesn't go perfect, there's gonna be a lot of enemies that spawns in. There's gonna be cannonballs, fireballs, bullet bills. Then we have the magic Koopas.
I know a couple
And everything is just gonna appear at the same time, and everything the green shell just likes to home on all the enemies. So it's really hard to hit the ship if that happens. So, but yeah, as long as we hit all the green shells on our first attempt, it usually is okay.
Read my Discord thing. It's in
Yeah, that was also a gold split, by the way. I didn't get to see how much it was by, but it was definitely a gold.
You live in Amsterdam, can recommend. Yeah, it'd be a bit different of an experience. Like,
yeah, before we go over to bedroom, we've got some stars to clean up in Fountain. Also, the second attempt at Broob.
I was thinking there was another Broob.
Yeah, we get 2 attempts at Broob in the run. So even if we get 1, it's still just really nice.
You said that's 20 seconds about that saves if it's successful?
Yeah. If you do the outbounds movement perfectly, it's about 20.
Even if you get the trick itself, you still have to do some very tricky movement. And if that doesn't go well at all, you won't even save time with it.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I've had some really bad attempts that lost time, and you can see the platform kind of catching up.
You're just doing the out of bounds movement and messing up, and then you just see the platform catching up to you. Like, oh man, why am I doing this?
Yeah, before we headed over to Fountain, we quickly talked to Toad. That's gonna also spawn in another Luigi star, which is Balrog L. And before that actually spawns in, though, we're gonna do 1 more level, so we're gonna quickly do Harry Scurry, which is another really quick and clean one. There's not really much to explain apart from a very minor optimization at the end. So yeah, we're gonna long jump into the launch star, and we've got a set route that we go around this kind of. It's not a sphere. I can't even think of the shape, but it's a shape. But there's a note that we grab last, and what we try and do is we make sure the platform is shrinking, like while we grab it. I don't know. It's weird to explain, but the platform will already be gone by the time we grab it, so we can just immediately walk off the edge. It's a very minor thing.
A small Posh movie.
That's like the only optimization I can really think of in that level.
There's still the frame perfect jump at every start of a level
Oh,
that we
true,
haven't
yeah.
really talked about yet. In almost all levels, when we fly into the star, or like fly into the level itself and land the first time, there's a small stun animation and we can like frame perfectly jump out of it and save around like half a second every time we get it.
Pinocchio movie?
And that's like a small optimization you could do in Harry Scurry, but I don't think Jay got it there.
Yeah, this is second attempt at Broob.
Alright, Broob?
We're always praying for it, but it never usually happens.
I'm really not sure if you got it here. I don't remember, to be honest.
No, I don't think I ever had it in any percent PB.
That would've worked, I'm not sure. Oh well.
Yeah, it's just too new of a strat.
Oh, that attempt looked good actually. That one might have worked. That was a pretty good mega triple.
Jay, I am going to go to your
I
wedding
don't
with
know.
Anko when it
It's so hard to tell with Mario.
So true.
Yeah, here we are riding the platform again. This is like your punishment
No.
for missing it.
Also doing some cheeky out of bounds there within that fence thing. Just trying to kill time.
What does Broob stand for? It stands for Battle Rock Out of Bounds.
Valentine's Day.
Battle Rock's just the
I miss
stage.
him so much.
Yeah, we can skip this whole auto-scroller section if we get it, but it's hardest trick in the run by far. So we're just gonna be doing the Ride of Shame all the way to the end.
Try and convince Hacker to come.
Oh,
to
I know
work.
this is easier to get with Luigi. Would you say it's still hard enough that it's uncommon to see 2 Broobs in one run, or?
I think there's only ever been 2 runs, or maybe 3 that have got double Broob as
Oh, wow.
Luigi.
Yeah.
So it's pretty uncommon. Usually getting 1 is rare enough, but getting 2 is like insane.
That's the best
Yeah.
way of asking.
Yeah, that really puts in perspective just how difficult that trick is then.
Oh,
But
yeah,
again,
definitely.
for those of you who missed it earlier,
I've never
we were
been to
just
a
talking about
church
how
wedding before.
it at least doesn't lose
Yeah,
you
I'm so
any
excited,
time
guys.
to go for it, since you're on the auto scroller as it is.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's definitely a treat to get and also to watch as well. Like it's definitely one of the coolest things to watch. I do recommend people that haven't seen it definitely look it up. It's a really cool trick.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Can I be your
At
witness?
AGDQ,
Yes.
I believe we got 2 of them the past AGDQ run.
When
So if you
read
haven't
my
seen
jokes,
that,
I mean, it's a lot easier
it's a
for you
really
guys
good
to be
race.
funny. It's less effort for me.
and it has Broob in
I don't have
it.
to do as much if you guys are funny.
Yeah, Jay and Tibbs got it in that race, so it's pretty crazy. It's a trick that requires hours of practice to just even get the first time,
It's beautiful.
because the timing of your inputs is so specific and the inputs you have to do for it.
Nope, don't need stabbits.
Because it's not like it's not like it's just a normal triple jump off a platform. There's like some specific inputs you have to do. It's like you have to go neutral on a specific frame on your stick, and then go back to up on your stick after you land
G.
on a specific frame, and then you get that mega triple jump that gives you more height. It's very weird. It's like gravity shenanigans that we don't really understand. 100%ly.
To the stream manager.
It's a weird thing.
We could talk about Broob all day. There's so many different things that can happen and go wrong.
And the best thing is if you get the out of bounds trick, but then you die in out of bounds. It's so much fun.
Oh,
You're like, oh yes, I got the trick. And then
that-
never mind, I messed it up.
that would feel way worse than just not getting it in the first place.
Oh, it
Oh
does.
yeah, it's bad. It's bad. If you not get it, you're like, oh yeah, that's fine. I'll get it like next battle rock, I guess, or next run. But if you get it
pretty
and
quick hits here on Baron Burr, which you can immediately backflip. So I'm like buffering the backflip through this cutscene, so you see I just backflip immediately as soon as it starts. We can get some really quick hits. But there's not really much going on in this level other than that.
Fucking hell.
I can't remember if I do lava boost in this. I don't think I do. I think I do the lame way.
This has been so long. I was like, you know what? I'll stream until
No
5
no
hours,
lava boost.
and then I'll call it. But now I'm actually on a good run.
What do we call it? Taco Bell strat?
Yeah, Taco Bell skip.
God
What?
damn, why'd I have to be on a good run?
Yeah, there's an emote. Oh, let me see if I can find it.
Yo, Doopsy, I agree.
7TV.
Balls.
I think it's on the CK's channel. Yeah, I can't even like explain it. I don't. This run doesn't do it. It just does the normal way.
Balls.
Yeah. So in Freeze Flame 2, there's 2 different variations of a skip you can do. We've got the normal way, which is like a gravity skip on the right. We long jump across all the way down, and then there's the other way. We grab the 6-up shroom, which gives us extra health, and then we do a giant lava boost all the way to the end, which the lava boost is so much cooler. But they're both like about the same speed. They don't really lose much time against each other. But I think I opted for the regular strat in this one.
Yeah,
I know
cool to show
I've
off.
seen the lava boost one before,
Pretty
and
fast
that's
right
called
now.
Taco Bell
Pretty
skip.
good run.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's not even my best pace.
Yeah, because your booty is burning and you go so fast. That is the reason why it's
All
Taco
right,
Bell
that was
skip.
the lore I needed, and I'm glad I learned that today.
We love Taco Bell skip.
Yeah. They're just doing no method here, doing triple jump to the top. And now I'm gonna do a long jump to the right to do a gravity skip.
So the game wants us to light up a bunch of torches here with the firefly. We can just skip the whole section along the right to the edge, also making the platform cycle as well. Pretty sure that's on a global cycle.
Nice. Another
Yeah,
good split.
pretty clean Freeze Flame 2 overall. There's not really
Wait, is that literally just
much better you can do that. It's pretty solid.
Because it's a simple emote.
See, I can see the arrows. Mine is like so. I keep refreshing, but my internet is so bad. It keeps like buffering.
Buffs for me as well sometimes. Also, there's like a bit of delay either way with the drawings.
This run's pretty good. It's about
Oh
the
my
same
god,
speed,
they
so
arrowed at the same time. Wholesome.
too much.
Alright, Platty.
This is so in sync.
It's just like preference, really.
Oh, is this where we get that Vine RNG?
It's in Gusty Gun 3.
Okay.
I prefer the 2B strengths. I'm a nerd.
Milo loves talking about his Vine RNG.
You know what I also love? Skipping the vine with a mega triple jump.
So true. Yes, you see, I avoided that coin there. So these coins, they spawn a bunch of stabbits and they cause a bunch of lag frames. So I'm actually gonna be trying to avoid these coins wherever I can.
Lag frames? Is this Super Mario 64?
Yeah, it's like playing on N64. The Wii U just couldn't handle the 40 stabbits spawning in. Yeah, we did a giant skip there with the fluff flower to just fly all the way over those right to the endings. Usually there's a bunch of vines you'd have to go through, and as Cyber would complain about, you'd lose a bunch of time to Vine RNG.
I'm not complaining. It's just it's just funny.
We could just skip the whole section.
Also, they're gonna do a long jump around this planet here to get a quick catch on the bunny.
No. Oh no, what have they done now?
Explain the quick bunny grab. There's not really that much to explain apart from there's a specific angle you want to be holding when you long jump to kind of like get the bunny to be in the right place. It's kind of between up and upright. You want to hold when you do that long jump. You basically get it every time the fast grab. You'll just land straight on the bunny.
And the easiest way is to just hold up and then switch to upright at some point. It's actually pretty easy to do. It's another strat that I recommend because a lot of beginner players just use starbits and try to chase down the bunny, but that long jump strat is very easy and you can't really mess it up.
was about to ask, have you ever messed that up, or is that just super, super consistent?
I have, and the backup is a nightmare.
Oh
'Cause,
gosh, yeah, I could imagine.
yeah, the bunny just he runs so fast, like you just can't catch, especially as Mario, because Mario is really slow anyway. It's not as bad as Luigi, but Mario trying to catch the bunny is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't happen too often. When it does, it's a giant pain.
And we're almost an hour and a half into this run, so I'm sure that feels extra awful if that happens.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, yeah, those kind of things can happen in like almost any level. Though there's always something that can just go terribly wrong, and it's awful, especially in late game.
So yeah, usually the game here, they'd want us to go up to the other side of this cage, and there'd be a switch for us to spin on to lower the cage. We can just triple jump over it. They didn't know that we could triple jump that high, and we can get in and out the cage pretty easily. Yeah, this ending section is very satisfying to do because the ice movement in this game is just, it works so well. And you can get a bunch of speed by doing like spins before you do a long jump or a single jump. You can gain a bunch of extra speed just by spinning before it. You see, basically every time I do a jump on the ice, I'm spinning before it to get some extra speed.
Oh my god, that was close. Almost died there.
Yeah.
What is this image?
Almost
Yeah,
dying there, you don't want to do that.
The ice flower probably one of the most, like the best power up in the game. It's very satisfying to move around with it.
Yeah, someone in chat asking, I can confirm I'm from Wales. I don't really have that much of an accent, but people say they notice
I'm
it.
already looking forward to the next DSA. Like, honestly. Because he's short?
Yeah, Gusty got in too. Silent, you
so
love the
rude.
mole cycles, right?
I'm not even
Oh my god. When I think of the mole cycles, I can only think of one certain runner.
I'm average height.
Yeah, shout out to Tubes. Anyways, yeah, once again, this is another thing where stuff only, like enemies and the moles in this level only move when they're on screen. So it is very important here that we have the same camera every time. Because on this next planet that is shaped like a question mark, there are 3 molds that we have to ground pound out of the ground and then hit it with a spin. And if you don't know the camera setup, they're gonna move everywhere on this planet and you have no clue where they are. So Jay's gonna set them out in a specific way. They line up right in the middle and you can kill 2 of them at the same time. Got hit there, but can try again.
Don't know how I
And
got
yeah.
hit there, but yeah, you don't want to get hit.
You don't want to
Lucky that
get
I
hit,
have
but
2p, I can hold them there. Stop them from running away.
yeah, if you don't know what you're doing, and usually if you start running this game, you don't really know what you're doing there. The moles are going to go everywhere, and it's horrible to chase them down.
Yeah, that's honestly one of the most frustrating planets, because the moles are just, they're just going everywhere. They're on a mission. Yeah, small skip here, so we've hit these worms into the last green apple. There's one more that it wants us to hit, but we can actually just do a triple jump into the launch star. Pretty self-explanatory stuff. And now we're going into the Major Burrows fight. There's a couple of cool optimizations we can do in this, so the main thing you'll see is I'll be grabbing Stabbits, which will allow me to shoot them to slow him down, and make it just generally faster for me to catch up. I'm also going to be trying to go as close as possible so I can just spawn immediately.
You gotta be here for the pace spell.
Yeah, there's not really too much going on in this fight. There's like some manipulation stuff you can do, but that's only in the Comet, which we'll see later.
Is funny as fuck.
The general like place where he spawns in Gusty Garden 2 is completely RNG. So sometimes he can spawn like to the left of the planet, sometimes spawn to the right, sometimes you can spawn like here right by the tree, or like completely at the bottom. And there's not really much time loss between the different RNGs, just kind of reacting to it.
Yep. I guess this is one of the RNG spots of the run that I didn't really mention, but as Jay said, the maximum it can like vary between the RNGs is probably like around 1 second optimally.
Okay, true.
So it's not really a big deal.
Yeah, what do we have next? Freeze Flame Assault. This is probably like my favorite star in the run. Like the movement in this level is just so satisfying. Freeze Flame Mass.
We have a lot of vertical platforming in this level, and due to that, a lot of use of 2P jumps as well. And getting the right angles of the backflips and 2P jumps with the right height is very difficult, but if done correctly, it looks super satisfying to watch.
Might be a perfect time to try going bold.
But first we need to catch the penguin again, like in Freeze Flame 1.
Using spins on the ice to get some extra speed as always. Yeah, this movement in the next section is just so nice. I really hope I don't mess it up. I don't think I did. I really hope I didn't now. I want to check the splits. Okay, no, it seems like it went fine, so that's good.
Yeah, talking about how this movement is so satisfying and then you're just messing it up
I know.
horribly would be pretty funny.
Alright, no dying, no dying, no dying, no dying, no dying.
Yeah, the game intentionally wants us to use the ice flower to get up to there, but because we have 2P, we can just gain a lot of vertical height to skip that. Need the fire flower for this section.
Right here, we're going to use a lot of spin cancel jumps, is what they're called. So when we spin on the ground and jump immediately, we can still get the spin attack, but not lose any speed.
Really good.
Also small mess up there, but like that we can shoot fireballs and still maintain our forward speed without slowing down at all.
That's what it actually
And yeah, that was pretty clean ending.
That looked pretty good.
I see, that movement there was incredible to watch.
When I fell off the snowman, I was worried I wasn't going to be able to get back on.
Also, this run's pretty fucking good. Best pace ever by 13.
Yeah, the ending section with 2P is just so nice. You can just climb up so quickly.
OMG, stop hacking. Why you cheat game?
Now Freeze Flame Comet. In this level it's actually pretty good to get one of those frame perfect jumps I was talking about earlier, where you jump off on the first frame of landing.
I still don't see
because there's a area where it starts the race with Cosmic Mario, and with the frame perfect jump we can reach that area like a second or 2 seconds faster than how we just did right there by just walking. Jay didn't get it there, so it lost like 4.5 seconds or so. But that one is really good to get.
Yeah, getting the frame perfect jumps is just kind of something that you go for, and if you get it, it's a bonus because you're not going to hit a frame perfect input at the start of every level.
So true.
But really nice times here to get if you can hit a couple of them in a run.
And that's one reason why it's not that easy to play really close to your sum of bad splits in Super Mario Galaxy, because if you have good golds, you're gonna lose 1 second every time you miss one of those frame perfect jumps. Yeah, and it just adds up over the run.
A minute of sob for fucking hour. I can do that shit.
So that grab on that last level, is that because of Mario's jump, or is that just a little short?
I think I long jumped slightly too early, so I needed a ledge grab. Yeah, you wouldn't want to do that usually.
Does anyone have this emote in GIF form? I might need this, like, in Discord. This is gonna be like a perfect one.
Yeah, if we look at best possible time right now, it's 2:23:53, which is looking pretty good for a 24.
It's really good.
You know, things happen.
Yeah, around 1.5 minutes of the sum of best. 1.5 hours in. That's what you need for a good run. Like really solid. This is where the Vine RNG would be actually. We killed this Piranha Plant to get this Vine. This is very slow RNG, not gonna lie. You lost like a second there. That was like actually really slow. That was actually really slow. That's funny.
using 2P quickly, get these boulders out the way. Nothing in the way, we can go straight to the ending. We can do some fancy gravity stuff on this little chip planet. And kind of just ignore the poles and just long jump from either side. The gravity's pretty big, so we can just kind of get in the gravity pretty quickly. And I love this ending section. This ending section has so many different like strategies you can do to get to the end. But as Mario, I'm going to be doing the normal 2P method, where instead of going like up to the gravity switch, we're just going to long jump straight right and do a 2P jump to just finish at the ending section, which saves a lot of time over doing it the casual way. Because you can't really see it on the screen, but like over on the left is a giant area. Also, that was a very scary 2P jump. That was very delayed. That was a pretty clean Gusty Garden 3. Yeah, the 2P jumps can be kind of finicky because like 6-frame window, it's not really that bad, but especially on jumps like that where if you miss it you die, there's like so much more, it's like a fear factor in it as well. Because there's so many 2P jumps you have to do, they're just over an edge.
That one looked really spooky, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there, Jay just mistimed the A input on the second Wii mode. Did it a bit too early. It still worked, but yeah, as Jay said, it's like a weird mental thing. When a 2P jump is very important, you're gonna miss it. It just works like that.
And here I am, 53 ahead.
Hitting the 2P jump inputs is just muscle memory, and if you don't think about it, you don't really miss them. But if there's something really important and you think about it too much, it's just you screw yourself over.
So yeah, actually pretty interesting manips that's going on in this fight. So I'm gonna walk over to a specific spot. I'm gonna try and draw it on the screen, but I got a bit of delay, so I'm gonna try and stay about there. And if I stand there, the mole will always spawn up the top of the left side of the tree, which will allow me to get a really quick second hit, providing I can dodge the lag frames. Yeah, you see that was a very quick second hit there. So now because I've landed in the same spot again, he's gonna spawn on the right side. So we've kind of like manipulated the bad RNG from earlier to make it always consistent. And it saves about 1.5 to 2 seconds than doing it in the Gusty Garden 2. Which is actually like so much nicer for the fight, because the mole can be kind of annoying on 1 HP. I used to have a lot of problems with this fight back in the day. But it's just one of those things that can happen.
Yeah, when Jay started running this game, he was like the one that was known to be bad at this fight. But you could say it got a lot better.
Is that something you feel like you're consistent on now with those strats?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's not usually a level that goes wrong nowadays. I guess the thing with like most levels in this game is that like there's a few really hard ones, and then there's some that are like kind of more mentality based. Like if you're on a good run, you're gonna be nervous. Oh, it's this level coming up, and it's like, especially when you're getting into late game, like some of these scary levels. Especially if you're on a good pacer like this, brain starts thinking of every possibility that can go wrong.
I need to get rid of these bits.
But yeah, this is a pretty self-explanatory level. Silo is going to talk about his Vine RNG again. This looks pretty good though.
It
does pretty good RNG.
It does not matter in Gusty Garden Secrets.
No, it does
you have to grab the coin. No, you grab the coin. Doesn't matter.
Have a ship PB, then
You must do a slow coin grab.
Can I have a ship?
Now we're making fun of me? Okay.
That's like the dream.
So we gotta have a bit of making fun of each other.
Not like we do that anyways all the time.
And 2 more, and then we're in.
Alright, now next up,
we know
Honey
you're gonna
Time.
make a comment in Bowser 3.
Engines.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Lucary's like SMG2 Hundo.
Yeah, Honey Climb coming up next. There's a pretty
9 hours a day.
flashy looking strategy in this one. So there's a way with the bee mushroom to get a lot of speed off the honeycombs. You basically just hold directly upwards on the stick, then go neutral and jump and shake, and it gives us a lot of vertical speed. right at the beginning at this section. We'll see it in just a second. Really nice to see. Yep. Perfect first section now.
Yeah, we love this B boost. It's like so satisfying to pull off. It's surprisingly easy as well. Like pretty much anyone could go in and do this now. The inputs are pretty simple. And we're doing some 2P jumps on the honeycomb just to be like high enough to avoid the boulders, so I don't have to worry about dodging any of them because I'll have enough height.
Yeah, that's another variation.
A lot of bits.
Another variation of the B boost here, where we boost off this bug. Yeah. We do the same jump spin while holding neutral, but we are very close to the bug, so we spin into it, and that gives us even more vertical height for some reason.
One more level, then we're into fucking.
Very dodgy boost at the end, but still decent.
Yeah, very good honey climb.
Savers in PB. I have a bunch.
Still 23 BPT going into engine.
Alright,
Man.
If you get a good buzzer too.
No, I respect speedrunners so much that have grind sets like that. It's
Actually, I think it might just be 24 flat.
Basic grinds I've ever seen. There's like 14-hour streams every day. It's crazy.
Spoilers! Come on, Jay.
No, I see someone asking in chat how both curses are tied together, so I can kind of show you on my camera. I showed it off earlier. So I have two controllers here. I've got rubber bands at the top, and then I've also got like Velcro in between the middle to keep them together, so I can kind of like take them apart and stuff like that. But that's basically like the setup I have. It's kind of wacky. Like when people first see it, they're like, "Wow, that's that's an interesting way to do it." But yeah, some people do it with tape, some people do it with just bands. I do it with Velcro, because I like being able to take them apart.
It does look like a whole brick, and it does feel like it at the beginning as well.
So yeah, if you want to explain what's going on in Bowser 2.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's some really very difficult movement in this one, and there's also a skip coming up that we talked about earlier. This is one that looks very flashy, and almost like everyone can do this one. It's very easy input-wise. And we can basically just skip this whole auto-scroller. We want to like long jump off this plus shape and then spin at a certain time, and it'll just carry us through these gravity fields all the way to the end. It's very cool looking, and saves a lot of time as well.
Fucking hell, okay.
It's small little optimization here, skipping the last thing and just 2P jumping all the way to the boss platform. That's a pretty clean Bowser 2 section. There's only one small optimization I'm missing there. It's called Nemi clip. So right before the 2D gravity section, there's a way you can clip in through the wall. And it's pretty precise. Like you have to be in a really precise location to actually get the clip. And if you miss it, you pretty much just die and lose like 30 seconds, and it saves like 3 or 4. It's pretty risky, but it's something I've started going for after this run happened. So that'll be something I've added in the future.
I'm actually starting to get kind of nervous now, chat.
Yeah,
Kind
but
of the same as in
This
Bowser 1.
one's fucking insane.
We're doing some more like phase skips, so you'll see that whenever he's shooting fireballs, I go over his tail and swipe him to cancel the phase. But I do it in kind of a way that I fall underneath Bowser, so I can immediately get a really fast like spin attack.
yeah, similar to Bowser 1, where we tried to be under Bowser's chin. This time we want to be under his tail.
You can see in that third phase, they're really three really quick hits.
Yep. We might be wondering why we were able to attack him twice while being midair.
Yeah, we should be a
And that's this mechanic called a weak spin. So obviously after you spin midair, you can't do another spin and gain any more height. But if you spin again, Mario will still perform like a weird animation where he turns around, and it's like a weak spin, which doesn't give you any height but still has the attacking feature. So we are able to skip 2 attacks from Bowser while being midair.
It's just engine.
Yeah, it's a really good Bowser 2 exit.
Yeah, this is the point now when nerves are very high. Engine is very mean.
That's so good.
So in engine we've got Gold Leaf, Toy Time, and Sea Slide.
Yeah, there was like
as
no
well.
big time losses that whole
But we don't get to Bone Fin or Live Reactor in any percent. So it's just these 3 stages. There's actually some really like cool stuff, but there's also really mean stuff.
Yeah, I think it was a good look.
Yeah, Seaside is usually not the problem, but especially Gold Leaf and Toy Time can be very rough stages.
Save as an engine. Bro, 224 would be such a
This
crack.
is where the nerves are running high.
I was just
Gonna-
about to
gonna run.
ask if this is when you're starting to feel more nervous about this run. This run
Oh
at a
yeah,
good pace.
definitely. 100%.
'Cause we've got less than 40 minutes, still a good chunk of time left, but getting towards the end.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think already in the bedroom dome, you start thinking, oh yeah, that's like a good run. Really gotta take this serious now. And when you get to engine, it's really you just gotta finish it off. Don't make too many mistakes. This is where you really, where your nerves kick in.
Now, are we going to be seeing some more tricks that are a little bit more difficult to pull off here, or is it just the nerves in general?
There is a lot of difficult tricks in
yeah.
engine.
All right.
It's not only nerves that
makes
make
a
this
lot of
dome.
sense then. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not only nerve that makes this dome difficult. It's also like a lot of the tricks here. Especially already here in Gold Leaf 1, it's gonna be quite a difficult one.
Yeah, I'll let you take Gold Leaf 1 because clockwise is very fun.
Yes. So we gotta collect 5 star chips here to spawn some not slings, like pull stars and a launch star to progress in the level. And there are 2 ways of doing that. One is clockwise, which is Jay doing right now, which is the harder method that saves around like 3-4 seconds. And then there's counterclockwise, which is the standard version basically. And this jump that Jay's about to do after this 4th chip is really difficult. Let's see if he gets it. Well, probably, but
So the kind of gimmick with that one is you need an angled wall jump. So if you wall jump really quickly after like hitting a wall, you'll get kind of like an angled jump. So we want it to be angled in the direction that we want, and also nail the 2P jump which is over an edge. If you miss the 2P jump, you die and you lose like 40 seconds anyway. So it's kind of just
Nice. Okay.
it's a lot of risk for minimal time save. And this bunny shot's also kind of hard, so I usually grab a lot of extra stab hits because my aim is pretty bad. You need to hit this bunny because catching as Mario is not fast.
Fuck. That was really good too. Okay, now we're gonna do Gold Leaf 2, which is even
and even after the stage, the game doesn't give you any slack. It goes right into Gold Leaf 2, arguably even more difficult than Gold Leaf 1. Lots of difficult jumps here coming up.
Yeah, I would say Gold Leaf 2 is definitely a lot harder than Gold Leaf 1, for sure.
And even Gold Leaf 3 is, I don't even know, every stage is like hard in Gold Leaf, I don't know why.
Well, how am I? I am really good, and I will be a lot better.
I guess it makes sense.
All the funny tricks there.
If I can get through the rest of this round without doing anything stupid, holy shit. Yeah, we still have like a.
Yeah, I like Gold Leaf 2. Like, even though it's really hard, like it's a really short level. The one you do perfectly is so satisfying. Like,
Sure.
there's a really hard trick at the end called stump jump. Yeah, we'll see that shortly.
I guess it makes sense. It's if you didn't notice, it's a mirrored version of Honey Hive with a slightly different color scheme. And both Honey Hive and Gold Leaf very hard stages. But first we're gonna lure this Cutter Quack to get to the launch star. A bit faster than just doing a jump and spin. And now
we can just 2P.
now, usually we are supposed to like lure a lot of Cutter Quacks all over the place to get all these jumps, but we can just use long jumps and triple jumps and spins to reach the gravity fields, no problem. And now there's stump jump.
This is the rough part. So you want to line up a triple jump in a way that you land on this big green circle platform at the bottom, but then you also want to get enough height with a 2P to land on the petal. But the game doesn't want you to be on there. Like you basically need to be in B Mario to be able to land on these. You've got a couple frames window to jump on the petal to grab the star. But yeah, that was a pretty flawless Gold Leaf too. Like, you can't really ask much better, bro.
B in B Mario, haha.
And I noticed you got flung by one Quack when you were going by. Was that intentional, or is that?
Yes. To actually like reach that launch star, you need the height from the Quack boost.
That's what I thought, but.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool looking back and seeing the stages that were done well. We're pretty happy with how those Gold Leaf stages went. Yeah, this one also doesn't give you a break either.
Yeah, Gold Leaf 3 has even more like shortcuts. We go up to this tree and then we do a triple jump and a 2P jump off this tree to skip like half the level. It's really weird because the camera doesn't like when you're like in that area. Very wonky. And now we have to do another chain of backflip and 2P jumps that are very tight to get all the way to the top.
Yeah, intentionally you would do this whole section with the bee shroom. Like, you'd climb over a bunch of clouds. And yeah, we can skip all of that just by 2P jumping. You can also do it 1P with like a series of triples and stuff like that. But 2P we can do it a lot faster. So you'll notice that I actually skipped the boss animation trigger for this fight. If you spin really quickly off the vine, you can actually skip landing in the trigger for the boss fight and land on the fence, which allows you to just do the boss fight while it's just sat there. It doesn't attack you. Like the boss music doesn't really play, I don't think. And you just do the fight without it attacking you, which makes it a lot easier and a lot faster.
Also Vine RNG here.
I was going to ask, how was that Vine RNG?
I didn't see.
I didn't see it. Was it good? I'm pretty sure it was fine.
It was probably pretty average.
I don't know, the movement in the last 3 stages looks like everything went really clean, so.
Oh yeah, it was. That was a really good Gold Leaf for sure.
And even after Gold Leaf, now we have Playtime 1, which is another really hard star, especially as Mario, because you really miss the, like, once you go from Luigi to playing Mario, you really miss the extra height from the jumps, because I think as Luigi, you take for granted how much extra height he actually gives you. Yeah, good old Mario is trying his best.
Yeah, I've only watched speedruns of this with Luigi, so it's been interesting seeing the differences here.
Yeah, it's a lot different of an experience. I feel like generally most people prefer playing with Luigi. But it's kind of like an extra bit of challenge, I guess, to play as Mario.
Which one has the background? Remove the fucking background.
Yeah, the gimmick with Playtime is it introduces you to the spring mushroom. But we don't want to ever interact with the spring mushroom at all, because it is very slow, very clunky. So a lot of this movement, they intend for you to do with the spring, but we can make it up with some backflips, some 2P jumps, some triple jumps, and we can basically just scale the whole geometry. Which is very fast, so mostly vertical. Even in this the section with the jar, it wants you to grab the spring, but we're gonna completely avoid the spring.
It's just the worst power-up in Mario history, probably.
I think if you ask 99% of people, they will tell you that they dislike the spring mushroom.
But now, coming up, we have armpit skip at the end of Totem 1. Usually there's like a lot of sections we want to traverse to get up this.
No fucking way.
This guy. I don't even know what to call this guy. But we can just the Bowser robot, I guess. We can just wall jump up the armpit and up the arm to get all the way to the top without using any spring mushrooms.
Yeah, so you can see like just how big the section is. Just from the like cutscene there, we can basically just climb the whole robot just up the arm. And it's actually kind of annoying to do, because I mentioned earlier that if you do like wall jumps too quickly, you can get angled wall jumps. So you have to kind of like delay each wall jump and try not to spin and bonk on one of the walls. Because if you do, you fall off and you pretty much just die. There's nothing to save you underneath.
What is this pace? It is 224 pace.
Yeah, Goldleaf Comet now is a cosmic race in the forest. They had a bunch of fancy like blocks and geometry for you to use, but we're gonna do the same thing we did in Goldleaf 3, and just do a triple jump up the tree and skip right to the end. Like this is really fast level.
Yeah, it's basically the exact same movement as the beginning of Goldleaf 3,
Yeah, we still have like 20 minutes.
and then you can just long jump into the star.
I guess one thing that we haven't mentioned in these cosmic races that if you crouch and then time an A input on like the countdown from 1 to go, you can actually get a speed boost, which is really nice. If you see I press A on go, he turns yellow and just starts moving very quickly. When they get a boost of extra speed to climb up here and straight up the tree, and then that's it. The whole level's just over.
Oh, the pace pals are arriving now.
It's actually a lot nicer in this because the camera behaves a lot more.
Knock knock, I'm on pace again. Oh yeah, I should put on pace pal layout for what's it called, Seaslide 1.
Yeah, but now the nerves are going crazy because we're basically past like all the hardest.
Oh my god.
It's the layout.
It is. It's the layout. Oh no.
It is the layout. Yes, there's like a running gimmick in my stream that whenever I'm on a good pace, so the layout comes out.
I am -1.
It is also.
We put her on for Seaslide 1 because Seaslide 1 is just a total auto scroller. So yeah, this level you just kind of swim and go through rings, and that's pretty much it. There's not really like that much to explain in this. There's not really much you can optimize. But yeah, chat, perfect time for any questions. If you have any questions about the run, feel free to ask now in the auto scroller.
The only part you can really optimize is the way to the shark, and then after you finish getting the last ring. Other than that, there's not gonna be any time loss or time save here.
Yeah, people love the layout. This has been a run-in thing for a while.
OMG, Jay is on world record P. I can't believe this.
World record P. Yeah, so you can actually see the bottom of the splits a bit better now. So if I like highlight the best possible time is 2:24:06, which is still less than 2 minutes off my summer best, which is like really good. And you see underneath there is it's kind of getting covered by the big red arrow. You can see best split times. I'm 56 ahead of my best ever pace, which is like kind of crazy.
It's like cold. I hope you get well soon, Mo.
You can also look at the total playtime, this category.
Too much.
Oh my gosh, I
112
didn't even see
hours
that on there. Wow.
for just this category, and yeah.
You might be.
This is probably the category I've played the least as well.
Yeah. This is just the time of inside the runs, so when the time was actually going.
Alright, back to
So
concentration mode.
it's a lot, and yeah, as Jay said, this is probably the category that he spent the least time on. Like crazy how much Jay grinds this game.
Too much.
Which reminder, Jay started running this like a year and a half ago, we said? I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, in about
Yeah.
September, October-ish
So-
in 2020.
Yeah. Quite a lot of hours put in. And I have been posting in chat, just want to point this out, that I've been posting Jay's link to his Twitch channel, so if you're enjoying this run, if you want to see more content like this, please go give Jay a follow. I know he's been grinding out 120 Luigi.
2 hours in.
Yep.
So
Unheard of.
if you know, maybe you'll get to see him on world record P live on his stream if you give him a follow.
Jay gets runs every
I can't
day.
promise anything, but we try our best.
Because like I'm not really that consistent. I'm a momentum.
Yeah, it's also another one of my favorite levels. I love Tight Time too. The movement in this level, especially with 2P, it's so satisfying. So in this next section here, there's 5 star chips that we need to get, and the route I'm gonna take is kind of weird because the game intends for you to screw in this screw, which allows you to grab the last star chip. We're actually gonna completely ignore that, and we're gonna just continue grabbing them the normal way. Yeah, this is the screw it wants us to do, but we're just gonna walk straight past it. And we can actually grab the last screw with a well-timed 2P jump. It's kind of hard because the chip's just kind of chilling there in the sky. You gotta angle it correctly. Yeah, grabbing the the chip very nice, and we can do another 2p to get back into the launch star.
Yeah, then the ending section can't be optimized too much. There's just these 5 silver stars we have to collect. So we just do some long jumps to get all of them.
Yeah, good old long jump, Super Mario Galaxy style.
Another beautiful level. Incredible.
That is what we do in the whole of our runs.
Always long jumping.
Yeah, there are those small optimizations where Jade immediately jumps out of a long jump to keep the speed.
Fucking hell.
But other than that, there's not much going on here.
Alright, time to take off the Wiimote. Alright, chat. You know the score.
Alright,
Because,
Sea
yeah,
Slide 2. This is
Something we
a fun
haven't
one.
said is that usually if you land from a long jump, you like have a crouch animation and you lose all your speed. So we don't want to have that happen. There's a way to avoid it, which is a running speed long jump, and that happens if you press Z and A on the same frame. But that's not too important usually.
Yeah, best of luck, chat.
It's a
Yeah,
very
Sea Slide
small
2.
optimization.
Sea Slide 2 is a pretty interesting one, so we're going to introduce you to surface swimming. So at the start of the race, I'm going to be buffering some shake inputs at a specific time. And it's going to allow me to swim on the surface of the water, which will give me a bunch of extra speed. It's kind of finicky to do. You basically need to be buffering a shake every frame. So I'm going to be shaking as hard as I possibly can in order to keep my surface swim throughout the entire time. But you can only do it when the water's flat. So I'm going to start surface swimming here on the flat section, and then when you go into the cave, I'm going to just swim normally, and then we'll go back into surface swim mode again. Yeah, also if you want to guess your time, chat, good guess is between 43 and like 50 for this race. It's a pretty hard one to do optimally, because there's a lot of stuff that can go wrong. Especially because it's pretty easy to drop surface swims if you're just not shaking hard enough or you drop a shake. Yeah, I'm shaking very hard at this point in time. The Wii Remote does not get a chance to breathe.
It was a really nice one though.
Nice.
First try on the
44, 91.
right after the start, and then second try at the end. Really solid.
Just keep getting better. Like, they're just so good.
Yeah, you can't complain about 44. 44 is really nice.
That is really good.
I think the best I've ever had in this is like a 43 oh something, and it was like
My controllers
really
back
good.
together.
Yeah, that's a pretty hard race to optimize. It's basically just lines and making sure that you keep your surface swim as long as possible. Yeah, that's like the main reason I use Velcro, is so I can detach my Wii Remote during that, because trying to shake that had with 2 Wii Remotes, it's had enough with 1. Doing it with 2 is just not good for the wrist.
I was imagining you shaking them together when you were talking about
Oh yeah, no,
how your cards you had to shake them, and I was like a little bit horrified thinking of that. But okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense. So that's why the Velcro is the strat.
that's like the main reason for the Velcro, is you can take them apart. But
Also, it's much easier to change battery, like compared if you tape them
gosh.
together.
Yeah.
That's the goal,
Because
man.
every time you would have to retape. That's not nice. Also, yeah, more surface swims here. Yeah, if you have a Wii, you should try just taking 2 Wiimotes and holding them one hand. It's actually pretty heavy. You get used to it after a while, but yeah, it's a bit weird at the beginning.
So a majority of this is done with the 2 connected together, right?
All of it. All of it basically, but that level.
Okay. But that level, okay. Yeah, that would be that. I'm like just trying to imagine. I'm gonna have to like try that myself. I want to see how that feels, but I feel like that would feel very awkward.
So true. This runs so
yeah, I
true.
always try to, like, whenever I can, because there's obviously a lot of cutscenes and downtime in this game. Whenever I'm like not doing anything, I put the controllers down, because I really don't want to, ruin my wrists or anything.
Yes.
So I always try and be careful with that, especially using 2.
No fucking Trollos now with these Tox boxes, honestly. The last thing I need.
Yeah, that was a pretty self-explanatory level. More just a lot of surface swimming right to the end. Again, not dropping any, so pretty flawless stage again. This engine has been like really good so far. This engine has been Actually, can't even think of that. Much time loss. Yeah,
I mean,
time 3, now
spoilers,
we
but
need
you're
to
still gonna
feed
lose some more.
Illuma.
You're gonna still lose at least 1 more minute here. Somewhere during the run. But yeah, we're gonna collect those 50 starbits for this Hungry Luma. And we're gonna again do a small camera manipulation here, where we go into first person and look at the planet we're about to spawn. So we can advance the cycles and get, yeah, better cycles when we're actually there.
Yeah, this section's actually kind of scary because these tox boxes, they have like the most janky hitbox ever. Like there's so many clips of people, they'll be nowhere near one and they'll somehow get squished. One will be moving upwards and they'll get squished. They'll be moving, like it won't even be moving. They'll somehow get squished. You gotta be really careful around these. And there's basically cycles we're trying to make. It looks like run cycle at the moment. And then once we get past the tox boxes, these red kind of platforms, we can just hold with 2P. And make sure they're completely out the way. And then just trying to avoid the spikes.
So yeah, Jay's trying to be on the side. So we can hit the flip switch, but still avoid the spikes of the platform. And then we do an intentional spin bonk on that platform here to gain some backwards momentum.
I've never done a shit ton.
Pretty minor thing, but saves a bit of time.
And I'm getting attached to this run all over again.
I was gonna ask, have you ever watched back any of your runs before? Or is this the first time you're ever doing this?
I watched back like pads for stuff that I know that I need to work on, but I've never like sat and watched a full run from beginning to finish.
That makes sense.
It's actually like a completely different way of like looking at it. It's kind of interesting.
I mean, especially too, you do a lot, longer of a run, so this is a time commitment to sit here and watch. But do you feel like watching it has like made you see things a little bit differently, maybe, or?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like definitely, just like a lot of minor things, and just general levels that I like need to work on pretty much.
Also,
That's
yeah,
what
we
I
have
think
the
about.
question. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, I think that's an interesting point of like watching back, is there's probably so many little minor things that add up during a run that you might not think about until you watch your movement as a whole.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I think one really important part of Spearrun is just like watching people. Like I feel like I learned so much from just watching other people play. Like even just minor things that add up, especially in long runs like this. The more small minor things you can add, they add up so much. Like, if you can save like half a second per level, that's like 30 seconds. It's like 30 seconds. It's a lot. I am getting hit by the spikes. You don't want to do that.
Well, it's like you mentioned earlier on, you have how much time for every level you have added on if you get, a coin or star bits from those windows that pop up. And when you have you're going through like 60 different levels here, that little things add up.
It might be wham. I think I had a 10
Yeah, it's definitely the main thing with longer speed games like this, because even any percent, the shortest category is just over 2 hours. Like that's a lot of time.
It was like 10. That was like 5 max.
Oh, yeah, compared to other speed games, it's a very long any percent run. And there's like no real. You can't really like skip any parts of this game. You really just gotta get those 60 stars to unlock the final level. Until there's some sort of probably arbitrary code execution, but we don't want that. That is very unfun.
I have like a 5-minute any percent like most other games. Yeah, same with this level. Just grab the notes as fast as possible. You can actually somehow go too fast here and get ahead of the note, and they'll like stop spawning. But yeah, that was a pretty clean note section. Yeah, that's it for engine. Honestly, like I can't complain about like any part of that engine. Like looking back on that was really nice, especially like with nerves as well, because it's already a hard section as it is.
I mean, overall this run has been pretty crazy. Not gonna lie.
But yeah,
Still only 2 minutes and 4 seconds of Sorb right now, which is insane for the amount of time we're in the run.
Yeah, we still have 15 minutes left, and even that can be enough to cause some issue. Yeah, we're gonna be revisiting Kitchen, and gonna have to be careful watching this one. Because it's actually a pretty hard stage. Like, this is the same as kind of Freestyle Mass, but there's a lot of vertical climbing you can do with 2P that is really satisfying. But then it's also kind of difficult, especially if you start messing things up. It can be kind of hard to back it up. Yeah, first of all, we gotta go down in this water section and actually lower the base. Need to blow up. There's kind of like a weight underneath it. We gotta blow it up first.
There's actually a way to skip all of this underwater section, but it's a task-only thing at the moment. And there has been like, I don't know, 1 or 2 people who have performed it in an IL. It's a big skip. It takes like 30 seconds or so, 40 seconds to skip all this, like destroying the weight part. But it's just there's nothing we can do in RTA. Especially like 2 hours and 10 minutes in is impossible.
I have a bit of trouble there getting out of the water. Losing a little bit of time, also spin bonking. And falling. Yeah, see, this is where the nerves are coming in.
Still fine.
It was a pretty cool backup actually, I didn't know about that one.
It wasn't the best play-based one, but it's good enough.
See, I learned something watching this run.
Yeah, skip there. Usually the game wants you to grab the 5-star chips. We can actually just bounce off the spring and do a 2P jump.
And hit the laser.
And hit the laser, but yeah, don't do that. That's slow.
I wasn't even holding an angle there. But
Yeah, that was like one of the main... Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm in
Oh
pain.
no. Now I do have to ask, I know you said in the beginning that, you know, you restart a
that's
lot
probably the biggest time loss
in the early game. How often would you say your runs get this far? Like, is this
So-
just an area you don't do a lot?
I can actually check my splits. So on these particular splits, I have 136 attempts, but only 14 are finished. So like, I feel like pretty much 50 to 60% of them just die in the first 2 levels. But then maybe like 25% actually get past Fountain. This is a lot that goes wrong in the beginning.
I think Jay already tries a lot to continue as much as possible. You can always just pull out like insanely good late game and still get a world record or a PB. But yeah, especially at top level, your early game also has to be good, obviously.
Yeah. There's so much that happened in the early game where, yeah, I could see if anything goes wrong, you're going to want to reset there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Also, how did that work? That was the most scuffed ending section for that. Oh god, I don't look very happy about that one. I think my kind of philosophy with like running this game is I try and practice like late game so much more than early game. Because obviously you spend a lot more time in the early game. I think like 90% of my practice time is like practicing stuff in mid and late. Because early game is just kind of play it until you get out.
But then if you're out, you really need to perform. That's what we practice for.
Gonna make the most of
And I
it.
think that's the way to do it when you're doing a run that's reset heavy and longer like this, that, you know, you're going to want to practice your late game separately.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, last Hungry Luma barely had enough stab hits, so pretty nice. This is also one of those levels that's reliant on camera. Like if the eels are on screen, they're moving. If they're not on screen, they're not there. So you really want to like try and manipulate them to always be in the right place. Because I have 2P, I can kind of cheat it and just hold them in place. But this is a level that can cause a lot of issues, especially if something goes wrong. Usually if it goes perfectly, it's fine. But if like one minor thing can go wrong and it can mess everything up. You're kind of trying to focus on all 3 eels at once.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, this was a pretty flawless drip drop.
Bet like moving
I think this goal did actually.
Yeah, it was like perfect. Nothing you can really improve there.
instantly in the star as well.
Yeah, that was a gold.
Goodbye, hardcore.
Juicy drip drop gold.
Also looks like it wasn't only by like 0.0, maybe like 0.2. I can't really exactly see it.
Yeah, one last talking to Toad. You don't want to forget this.
Yeah, this is also the one of the reasons why we even do go back to Bedrock L a second time, because Bedrock L is what unlocks this star, Honeyhive L, and this is a really fast one. This is almost like the same speed as the good egg one on the roof, only like a bit longer. So it's really worth just going to Bedrock and unlocking this one.
Yeah, it's another quick and easy star, just long jump up the side, and Luigi's just kind of chilling there on the tree. He really needs our help. The bug's really menacing.
It's actually 3x pace. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's the 60th star, so now it's literally just Bowser 3 that can stop this run. And Bowser 3 is really hard.
And if you take a
I was
peek...
gonna ask, how nervous are you at this point?
You can probably...
Final.
I would say if you like focus on the cursors, you can tell. Try to point at the screen while nervous, you can tell if I'm nervous. Yeah, what's the BPT going into Bowser 3? Okay, so I got 2:24:37, best possible time.
And if you know the end time of this run, you might know what might happen.
Considering we all know the end time. This was the big downfall of the run. Yeah, this is also a really hard stage in itself. Like, there's so much that goes into this level. And it's kind of full on to be right at the end. Also bringing back the layout.
Oh man.
But yeah.
And back comes the layout.
The chat moving a lot faster now, all the pace pals are hopping in.
Alright, chat, I'm gonna leave now. Goodbye.
Yeah, there's like a minute and a half long intro cutscene, and then just 5 minutes of pure gameplay.
It's honestly pretty nice to have this like minute cutscene right before the final level. Like a nice thing to just calm down and focus once more.
Mentally prepare.
It's a sub in every sub-split. What the fuck? Just 20.
I'm like, I don't know if that just make me more anxious or relax me.
Alright, don't screw up.
I don't know, it's kind of like a bit of both. It's like,
It's fine.
you want to just get it over with, but then it's also nice to just like stop and think for a minute.
Yep. Yeah, right at the beginning of this final level, there's a early cycle we need to hit. So we're gonna do some interesting movement with the gravity laser beams.
So much time.
And we're gonna catch a early cycle with that.
Yeah, this cycle's kind of tight, especially as Mario. Like, you're really not gonna make any mistakes at the beginning here. Yeah, we're gonna be climbing like on top of these walls to completely avoid having to deal with the lasers. Yeah, cycle's looking really good.
Let's get it.
Yeah, now we got this next section. So we got a really quick lava boost we can do. There's actually an invisible wall, but we can go around it and completely skip that section. Now we got the ice section. This is just some fairly basic ice movement. Just long jumping across. We're making sure to grab the coin though, because we're going to need that for later. We need the extra health, because there's some strats later on. The sand section, pretty simple as well. We can just long jump to the right. And this is where things start getting really difficult.
At the beginning, there's like a lot of small shortcuts, but right here in the last section of the cave, there's a very, very difficult movement that Jay's gonna explain.
Yeah, so these are all on cycles, these fireballs, so I'm doing intentional damage boost to get through that. And now this cave is where like most friends go to die. So we're gonna want to try and go underneath this womp. I've already ruined the movement. I'm gonna try and go under the womp, but I'm gonna get a ledge grab and hit by the bullet bill and then crushed. And now you can just imagine the pain.
Yeah.
This was like one of the only big mistakes. And then it spawns you here as well, so you gotta go through this whole section again. And yeah.
Oh, that's so rough.
I was not happy. But yeah, that was a pretty rough time loss, but we still I don't think I actually went for it a second time. Oh, I did! I did! Oh my god, I must have been so mad.
And you even messed it up.
Yeah, and then we're gonna do a damage boost here through this bonsai bill. Use the iframes to just go straight through. But yeah, this cave section is so punishing because there's rough gravity. It's all cycle based. You can get crushed by the womp. Bullet bills. There's so much that can go wrong.
Yeah, and if you have less than 3 health, you can get hit by a bullet bill and immediately get knocked into the lava to take two times damage. It's really bad. It kills a lot of runs. But usually after you're done with cave, you're pretty much safe.
Oh god, just flashbacks to this moment, pain.
I just don't even get. I will never be free.
Yeah, this end Bowser fight, it's kind of like the other two, where there's a bunch of like phase skips we can do by just spinning a Bowser in the right time. I think I actually got Tash Strat in this run. I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure I nailed Tash Strat.
We can definitely explain that at the end.
That's like the last hit, so we can show that later.
Bro, I was on God Pace 120 Mario, I killed it at Bowser 3, and I was on God Pace any percent.
Yeah, it was pretty rough to go over 2 and a bit hours playing really well and then killing it. Well, not killing it, but losing a decent chunk of time on the last level.
I will never get a run like this again.
Because like you can see by the BPT, it was still on pace to be the first 24.
That's a really
Which still wasn't achieved yet, by the way.
Yeah, there's still no 24. This is still a current record. Yeah, Bowser has found out how to turn into a rock, so we gotta get him out of his rock shell. And it's the same as every other fight, he just spins around, you gotta smack him. There's some pretty interesting stuff you can do with 2P on this planet, so you can see like these giant green balls, you can kind of use 2P to fling them towards him and get some faster hits. You know, to try and like line him up to him from the other side really quickly.
That was a really good planet there.
I think it's actually still pace.
And now to the last planet, there's another damage boost here. So we're gonna position Mario in a specific spot and wait for the laser beams to arrive, and then we take damage on the last laser beam to cancel the rolling phase of Bowser and get a hit immediately on this blue part. And right after this, there's Task Strat coming up. Basically, we can cancel one phase with the spin and then get knocked back into a fireball to cancel another phase of Bowser to end the fight immediately. And looks like Jay did get it there. It looks very satisfying, and also just immediately jumps.
You can skip all of the phases in just that one swoop. It's really cool. It's called Tash Strat for a reason. It's pretty you don't get it that often, but it's worth going for. But yeah, that's it. That is any % Mario in not 224.
Yeah, just gonna wait out this cutscene.
So close. Now I know you've been grinding out Luigi 120. Does this make you want to go back and try to get that 224, or you're kind of done with it for now?
Because it's very improvable as well. Like I've added some new strats since this as well, so it's something that I'll do eventually. But swapping back and forth between the characters, it can be kind of hard to get used to.
Yeah, I could imagine. Different strats.
Yeah. This was a very real speedrun.
Well, still, yeah, it was really cool to just watch back and see, you know, everything that happened here and listen to you two explain everything. It was real nice to have too. So thank you both again for being on.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
It was a good time for sure.
I want to give real quick Jay and Silo a chance to shout out anything you'd like before we end for the night here.
Yeah, so I stream pretty much every day. I'm always grinding Galaxy. play it a lot. Same with Silo. Silo's also a top runner. He plays a lot as well. So definitely follow both of us on Twitch. If you're interested in Galaxy speedrunning, we've got a Discord where all Galaxy strats and help and stuff like that if you want to learn. People are really helpful in the Discord if you ever want to try just some strats or maybe try a run. Pretty friendly community. But yeah, other than that, I think that's it. It's pretty late for us.
Yes, yeah.
This is a time zone moment.
Yes, yeah, thank you. I just want to thank you both again for being here. I put both Silo and Jay's Twitch channels in chat. Please follow both of them, especially if you enjoyed this tonight. But with that, we are going to wrap up the show for tonight. Let these two Europeans get to sleep or get to work. It's very, very early in the morning for them.
These silly Europeans.
Real quick though, chat, I just want a reminder that tomorrow we have Challenger approaching, followed by Legally Cute, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. So make sure to tune in tomorrow for more hotfix content. And stick around because we will be doing a raid after a short little break here. So stay tuned for that. Bye.